railroad crossing just east of Ridge Road North all day Monday. A signed detour will be available. CSX will be doing some work there. That work is weather. The Berkeley County Council met on Thursday and, among other things, began preparations to refurbish and then relocate a World War I memorial statue that's now in the old federal courthouse property in Martinsburg. That's because the old courthouse will soon be sold at auction, and if that happened, the statue could potentially go with the property, and then who knows what would happen to it. I'm Ed Heisted, Talk Radio, WRNR News.
Local forecast. Weatherman Bob Kukin.
We've got mainly clear skies in our nighttime forecast with diminishing winds and temperatures cooling down to a low in the morning of 42 degrees. Plenty of Saturday sunshine coming up through the 50s in the morning, the high near 65 in the afternoon. Clouds will increase some overnight, mid-50s the low into Sunday morning. Could be a brief sprinkle or shower scattered on Sunday, the high 72. I'm Bob Kukin, Talk Radio WRNR.
The following sports special is a broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance to fair.
We ask for a chance to fair.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
So we can't beat.
We can't beat.
Woo, beat.
Who let the dogs out?
It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school football, featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. To get you ready for today's play-by-play action, we'll bring you interviews, in-depth analysis, and important game information on the pregame show. So let's get things started by going to the stadium and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome into Coburn Field on the campus of Martinsburg High School. It is the home of the Bulldogs, the three-time defending AAA state football champions. Tonight, it is an Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference matchup as Martinsburg welcomes in the Washington Patriots out of nearby Charlestown. For Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Vic Holmes. Jason Colrick joining us momentarily from the sidelines. Our studio producer and engineer is Matt Crawford. We've got Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick running cameras, and our on-site producer is Ash Gurry. Well, we are back again here after a visit to Hedgesville last week. Martinsburg coming out of that one with a very impressive victory, 67-6. The Bulldogs head into this matchup now going past the midpoint of the season, 5 wins and no losses. And Vic, it has been a good start clearly to this season. I think this team is where they expected to be, but I think they've also gotten here the way you would expect them to do it.
Yeah, I think it's been one of those years where this team had set out to do certain things, and they accomplished those things early in this year. I remember last year, it seemed like some of the things were kind of a struggle to get to a certain point. This year, for some strange reason, I guess maybe because of maturity and maybe because of the new guys coming along, picked it up a little bit quicker or what have you, but I think they got to where they really wanted to be earlier this year. I think part of that had to do with concentration and preparation, getting themselves prepared, and I thought they did it early in the year. I think I saw it in the second game of the season. I felt like they were where they needed to be at that point, and that seemed like a fourth or fifth game of the season, the second game of the season. I said, boy, this team is really, and they didn't peak, but the team had really reached a pinnacle early in the schedule. So I said, I don't think we're going to see any letdowns. Of course, that could always happen at any time, but I just see a team that seems to keeps climbing and climbing and climbing, and we've seen a little bit of different style offensively with other teams. We've seen different defenses by some of the other teams. I said this team just really does adjust, and that's what they have done. And then, boy, I tell you, they're just punishing teams, basically.
Well, their opponent today, the Washington Patriots. They'll come in at 2 wins and 2 losses. An equally impressive victory last week at home against the Parkview Patriots. 50-0 was the final in that one, coming off of an 0-10 campaign a season ago, and only 3 wins total over the prior 3 seasons. For this Patriots team to be coming in here at 2 wins and 2 losses tells you that they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you what, we look at the number of players they have, a small number of players, and you've got to give that coaching staff and those players a lot of credit because, we're actually seeing teams, high school teams across the country folding schedules, simply because they don't have enough players to play or a case of having small numbers and then a bunch of guys getting hurt. So therefore, they had to close their schedule. Some have actually closed their schedule and going to try to reopen in a couple of weeks when they can get some players back. That type of thing. Namely like a Thomas Johnson.
Yeah.
They used to be a force once upon a time, but things have changed. And again, got to give this team a lot of credit for what they have done thus far, and I wish them all the best the rest of the season.
The Patriots opening the season with a Thursday night matchup at home against Hedgesville, scored a 34-30 win in that one. Then came a 27-0 loss at Spring Mills, and then the toughest loss so far this season at home against North Hagerstown in Week 3. It was 27-26, a game that Washington fell behind but battled back, and a missed extra point attempt was the difference in being able to tie that one up and maybe go on for the win, whether it would be in regulation or in overtime. But even after that game, head coach Glenn Simpson, as we talked with him, really talked about the progression of his team and even how they continued to battle in that one and learning lessons from a difficult loss.
Yeah, I tell you, you do learn some lessons when you lose. And sometimes it doesn't matter how bad you get beat, you still learn lessons. And one other thing that people forget also is the fact that you learn a lot of lessons sometimes when you win also. Don't think just because you won that you didn't learn anything. I can guarantee you that Martinsburg saw some things in the Hedgesville game, and me, not as their coach or anything, I saw some things in Hedgesville that I hadn't seen, and they adjusted to, and they picked up on a few things offensively and defensively. So it's a learning progress. But this football team is going to be interesting. It's not going to be as interesting tonight as it is going to be next week for this Washington team. Now, obviously, they're a big-time underdog here tonight. There's no question about that. But the thing is, how are they going to handle tonight's ball game, and then how are they going to handle it on Monday when they go back to practice? That's going to be big.
For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, we mentioned their record at 5-0. It got started with a 49-12 win against H.D. Woodson, then a 76-6 victory over Eastern. Both of those games were here. Then came a matchup at Sharando in Week 3, 37-0. Martinsburg pitching the shutout in that one. Back at home, they got a 45-8 win over Academy Park, and then last week at Hedgesville, 67-6. So Martinsburg coming in, averaging just under 55 points a game while giving up just under 7 a contest. For the Washington Patriots, they're averaging just about 28 points a game while giving up about 21. Well, I noticed Jason standing down there talking with Teddy Marshall, getting a little inside scoop heading into this one. A beautiful evening for football, Jason.
Yes, it is absolutely a beautiful evening down here. Actually, Teddy came over to me because he noticed that I had my boot off and was asking me about it, and we were down here talking about, working out. So good times. But yeah, it's definitely noticeably colder out here. The temperatures have been in the 90s the last 3 days, and tonight it's definitely going to get down to about 42 degrees. They say at game time right around 56. This is truly the Friday night lights. It's fall time here. It's going to be dark by the time the game time comes on. A little bit of a breeze, so if you're coming out to the game, I would definitely bring a sweatshirt out here because it is going to be a little bit chilly.
All right, now hold on. You said a little bit of a breeze. As I look at the flag down at the end of the stadium beyond the scoreboard, it looks like a pretty stiff breeze blowing down the field. What's it like field level?
We're actually, I guess I should walk down this way a little bit because where I'm at, I'm being blocked by the press box. When I was coming out earlier, you could tell that there was a breeze, and actually earlier today when I was at the house, I had the windows open and it was whipping pretty good, but You're right. That flag is definitely blowing from left to right as you're looking down here on the field. So it's going to be obviously in a team's face if they're going the opposite direction here.
There it is. It'll either be in your face or in your favor, depending on whether you've got the football and which quarter. And so we'll see which team wins that coin toss and how they elect to play it with a little bit of a breezy evening on tap. Well, our pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. They're online at WHMsystems.com or give them a call. 304-350-1931 is the number. When we come back, we'll hear from a senior player, check in on the freshman and JV programs as well. It's the Dog Tag Profile and the Bullpup Report. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Ron Hawker here. You have no idea what Johnny's goes through to bring you the best seafood around. We have snow crab clusters, shrimp, crab meat, fish, all the best seafood you want at Johnny's. It's a tough job out here, but our customers are worth it. Johnny's with two great locations, 1456 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, and Route 11 South in Chambersburg.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's time now for the Dog Tag Senior Profile and the Bullpup Report. They're being brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. If you have financial questions, stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or phone them at 304-263-4343. We start with our Dog Tag Profile, and we're joined by Bryce Morris, linebacker for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Bryce, talk to us about your position. What is it you like about playing linebacker for the Bulldogs?
Personally, I like doing all the hitting. I let my linemen do all the work in the front, and I get to do all the tackling and reading and all that. It's still kind of a hard job because I have to read the guards and then look back at the back, read the quarterback, and get to my drops all within probably about a second or two. But putting the guards and everybody back to where they came from really feels good and making a wall up front.
Strong season a year ago, got banged up going through the playoffs. How has that maybe motivated you, pushed you here this year?
It's definitely motivated me a lot because I take every play I come out here for granted beforehand, but now I'm thankful for every play that they give me. And I've really worked hard in the offseason. I worked hard the year before, and it's overall pushed me to become a better player because not everything is given.
How good is this linebacking core?
We're definitely really good. We have we're kind of new guys, not experienced like last year, but we're definitely, the guys from last year really helped us out last year, so this year, sorry.
Football, is it your favorite?
Oh, for sure.
Are you taking part in other sports?
Yes, sir. I did wrestling 2 years ago, and I do track.
How about when you're not playing some type of a sporting event? What do you like to do to just relax?
Definitely sleep. I need a lot of sleep. my body gets really tired all the time.
Have you been able to get that sleep?
Oh, for sure. I go to bed at 10 o'clock every night.
Nice, nice. All right, how about in school? If you're getting plenty of rest, that means your brain's working well. So how is school? What are some of your favorite classes?
Definitely. I'm taking physics right now, which is pretty cool. I really like that. I take leadership, which really helps out with my leadership on the football field. And I take psychology, and psychology helps me become a better leader for out here.
You got to be thinking about what comes next, this being your senior year. What is it you would like to do?
Definitely, I want to go play college in football. I want to go play football in college, for sure. I've always looked up to that. I was the first person in my family to play high school football, actually. Right. And I just want to see where football can take me. I've played football since I was 6.
How about studies or school? Do you have a place you might like to go, or just waiting to see?
I'm just waiting to see right now. I have a couple colleges on the list, but I'm definitely going to go be a marine biologist eventually.
Well, Bryce, thank you so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
There you go. Bryce Morris in the spotlight of our Dog Tag Senior Profile. Stay tuned. We've got the Bullpup Report coming up next.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Experience all that the West Virginia Breeders' Classics has to offer. The golf tournament, the gala, the races, experience the classics, the West Virginia Breeders' Classics.
We continue now with our Bullpup Report as we talk freshman and JV football, beginning with JV head coach Britt Sherman. Britt, we're finally talking about a game. You played all the way back on, what, like August the 9th? September the 9th. Maybe that's when it was. 3 weeks off, and you got back on the field Monday. What'd you see?
Well, Matt, it was a really good game. Our guys really played well. We beat Washington 49-0.
Talk to us about the offense and what you did to produce those points.
Well, Peyton Curry is our quarterback. He had a couple touchdowns. Running backs, Lolo, Taylor Perotti, and then Isaac Levy came in and scored some touchdowns as well. Josh Thurston, who would probably play for a lot of people in the state, is one of our receivers. And Kyle Walker had a touchdown as well. And even had a couple freshmen come up and contribute with Eric King scoring a touchdown as well.
How about on that defensive side of the football? What did you see to pitch a shutout?
Just a lot of effort. I mean, we played everybody on defense, and those guys just really got after it. And, you know, Coach Simpson, those guys have done a really good job, and they give a lot of effort. And, you know, with the single wing, it's something different for our guys to see, and I think that's, you know, an advantage for them a lot of times. But our guys did a really good job with effort and getting in the backfield and making plays.
What did you hear from your guys after that game? How excited were they that they had an opportunity to really get out there in a meaningful situation?
It was good. It was one of the shortest JV games we've ever been a part of. It was only lasted like an hour and 20 minutes because of them running the ball and then us scoring quickly. But they were excited to be 2-0 and excited to get back out next week.
Next week? You play again next week?
Yeah, next week. We play at Spring Mills next week, next Monday.
Well, Coach, we wish you all the best in that one. Give us a little more. What's the pink shirt about today?
It's our homecoming week this week, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so we did a pink day today. And actually, Coach Shallis made these shirts, so they got some stuff going on with their family, so and we're supporting them.
Coach, thank you. Good luck. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you, Matt.
JV head coach Britt Sherman joining us with our Bullpup Report. We'll talk freshman football next. We continue with our Bullpup Report as we talk freshman football. We are here with head coach Kip Shallis right after a 70-0 victory against Hedgesville. Congratulations on the win. What did you see from your team?
Just a lot of great effort tonight. Everybody, we have 35 kids on the roster. Everybody got a chance to showcase their ability tonight. And when their number got called, that everybody came through. It was a fun game to get everybody participating like that.
How do you see this offense developing from week one until now?
It's just so diverse. I mean, we pick your poison. If we want to run, if we want to throw, we have the ability to do both. So it's and we play hot hand. So whoever's the hot hand, we try to feed that guy more. And it might be a second or third stringer, but whoever's playing the best that night kind of gets it, and we just kind of go with the flow.
Are they getting the grasp of what you want to do on the freshman level with this offense?
Yes, absolutely. We've scored on wide receiver screens. We've scored on pass routes. We've scored on trap blocks. I mean, we scored on a lot of different ways of doing it in these games, and I'm proud that they're able to mentally, focus and be able to execute all those plays. That's asking a lot at the freshman level. I think we're a high-level team, and I think we do a lot of high-level stuff.
Another very strong defensive effort with a shutout tonight. What are you seeing on that side of the ball?
Just our guys up front are aggressive and nasty, and they start the penetration all night, and then everybody else just responds behind them. Great group. Once again, it seems like whoever we call that night to put out there, they show up. And I tell you, we have players of the week, and I tell you that's the hardest thing we have to worry about with players of the week, is we're in there fighting for each guy and this guy and that guy. So it's just a great group, great group.
I know you just wrapped up a game. I hate to bring it up, but what comes next for your team?
We have another break again, I just found out. Our Spring Mills game got dropped. They don't have a whole lot of players right now, so I think they're going to go with the JV game next week. So we have a couple weeks off, then we play Fort Hill at Fort Hill, and then we'll finish up Musselman here to finish up the year.
Earlier, as we got a chance to talk with Britt Sherman, JV head coach, he had on the pink shirt as well. Talk to us about those.
Yeah, that's Jeff Todd, a buddy of mine, has a company that I asked to do this for him. It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it hit our house this year. My wife got diagnosed with it, so we made some shirts to honor her and Shallow Strong on the back. So it's a little rally cry of trying to keep our momentum and everything up in our house. So it's just nice to see.
Coach, you're in our thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Kip Schallis joining us following the freshman game as part of our Bullpup Report, along with the Dog Tag Senior Profile. They're brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. If you've got financial questions, give them a call at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Stay tuned for more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
If you're not progressing in healthcare, you're falling behind.
W Medicine has planted itself here, and they're the first university that I've found who wants to take ownership of this population of Western Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and the good people of West Virginia. And it's really refreshing to see.
I was able to do things that the patients were going away for, which is good for the patients, and it's good for us because we have more resources.
Certainly has helped take us to another level.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Just perfect for a game.
You know, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. It's been hot all week. The temperatures cool down. How important is that for a coach to have the temperatures drop down?
Well, for me, it feels pretty good because I'm not sweating and I'm not gasping for air. So I enjoy. I mean, this is my favorite time of year when it gets cool like this. So, and I know our kids enjoy it as well. And you know, it definitely felt like it was August this week in practice.
Coach, you guys are coming off of a big win against Hedgesville, but in that game, you guys had 16 penalties. How much did you guys focus on that this week?
And we just talked about you know, trying to play mistake-free, and I mean, a lot of it was just stupid stuff and things that we got baited into, and our kids just got caught up in the drama of the game. But I'm hoping we do a little better job tonight.
You know, you got a Washington team here that's come in the last few years winless against you guys, but this year they've got a couple of wins. What are they doing different that you guys have seen on film that you guys need to stop?
Well, I mean, they've changed their offense to the single wing, and I think they're trying to do some things to give them a chance to be successful, or to try to keep the ball away from people so they don't get beat bad. But I mean, they're still outmanned. But you know, for us, it's about us. It's not about Washington. I want us to focus on getting better and doing the things we need to do and trying to play mistake-free tonight.
You know, in the first few games, you were airing the ball out. Last week, you really got your running game established. How important is that going into some bigger games and even the playoffs for you?
Well, it all comes down to what we're seeing defensively. I mean, last week, Hedgesville was running like a 3-1 or something. You know, something very unorthodox. So they were trying to take away the pass. So we'll take the run. I mean, so it just varies. It depends from week to week. I mean, we're prepared to do either one. But obviously, it's high school football. I think your number one priority is to stop the run. But I guess Hedgesville didn't see it that way last week.
Coach, you're very strong on defense. Talk to me about your defense this year.
I think we just play hard. We're relentless. Our kids run to the football. And I think as long as you're doing that, you've got a chance. So as long as the effort's there, I feel like, you know, we're going to be pretty good. And we got some good football players.
You know, and lastly, you know, your special teams. Last week you tried out 3 different kickers. It looks like you've got a lot of talent coming up even after Catlett leaves over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with those guys, with Duffy and Romer. They're great kids, so they're really good soccer players too. So I'm glad to have them, and they're definitely going to help us down the road.
Coach, thank you. And we'll talk to you at halftime.
Take care.
There you go, Matt. Just a few thoughts from Coach. I'd asked him, you know, about the penalties last week, and did you run them a lot? And he goes, no, we talked a lot. We had a lot of talking. So, you know, let's see if tonight they can clean that up.
I remember sometimes as a kid, worse than the punishment itself was the talking to that came with it. Maybe that was the case this week for the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can cut down on some of those penalties. So that conversation in the end zone brought to you by Parsons Ford. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, check out their great selection online at ParsonsFordofMartinsburg.com or stop by. They're at 1400 Shepherdstown Road. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. We'll take a break and come back with more of our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Up next, we see what else is going on around the area with our check of the area schedule. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now for the check of the area schedule. It's brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance, a full-line insurance agency on Lakeview Drive near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. We begin with the Musselman Applemen, who are 4-1, heading into a matchup tonight, entertaining 1-4 Morgantown. For Musselman, it was a big bounce-back win last Friday night, knocking off Woodgrove 48-28, a week after suffering their first loss of the season. Meanwhile, Morgantown is coming off of a 44-17 loss at Lindsley Academy. Despite their record through 5 games, Musselman coach Brian Thomas knows this will still be a tough test.
It's always really physical. It's probably the biggest rivalry we've had, just in terms of the closeness of ball games. Every year we play them, it's close, it's tight. We know we're going to get a good effort from them. We got to be ready to play. If we're not ready to play, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll beat us if we're not ready.
Last year's meeting in Morgantown saw Musselman escape with a 13-7 victory. Tonight's matchup at Denny Price Stadium at Waldeck Field is kicking off at 7 p.m. Also tonight, Hedgesville is home as they entertain Fort Hill. The Eagles at 0-5, coming off that 67-6 loss against Martinsburg last weekend. Head coach Joey Urish says despite the struggles on the field, off the field, this team continues to stay together.
Honestly, man, it's the best team that I've had as far as chemistry and morale since I've been here. The kids have been excited to come in every day and come to practice, and each week they're getting better, and that's a positive thing. And when you got leaders like Sawyer Twigg and Devin Heath and Ethan Vallenglaw and Gerald Jones, man, those guys come in every day with a game mentality, and they help set the tone every single day.
It'll be another tough test tonight for the Eagles as Fort Hill comes in at 3-1, suffering their lone loss last weekend, 48-14 against Cathedral Prep. It's been a few years since these two programs have gotten together. Kickoff tonight at Moomaw Stadium is at 7. And the Jefferson Cougars will entertain Dominion, Virginia. Jefferson getting their first win of the season last Friday as they knocked off Heritage, Virginia 26-14. Jefferson head coach Craig Hunter on the win.
We've been able to move the ball, able to actually run the ball well, throw the ball pretty well on Friday night, and get in the red zone and have some success. Whether it be punching in the end zone to kick some field goals, just have some success in the red zone. It feels good for the kids to be able to get the monkey off their back. Coaching staff to get the monkey off our back to grab a win and try to take that momentum going into this week.
Dominion is 1-4, just like the Cougars. They're coming in off their lone win, beating Rock Ridge last Friday, 20-7 the final. These teams did not meet a year ago. Tonight's matchup at Shenandoah Junction kicking off at 7. And finally, the Spring Mills Cardinals are on a bye this week after being shut out by South Hagerstown last Friday, 38-0. That has the Cardinals at 3-2 on the season, battling through injury, especially on the offensive side of the football. Head coach Chad Williams says the bye comes at the right time.
As we try to heal up a little bit and try to solidify what we're going to do going forward, this is a perfect time for a bye for us right now. We're just focused on ourselves, getting better, and as long as you can kind of take that process of getting better every day, then things like finishing out the season strong take care of themselves, because obviously if you're getting better every day, you're going to finish strong.
Spring Mills will return to action next Friday night when they play at Martinsburg. Speaking of the Bulldogs, they entertain the Washington Patriots tonight, and we'll hear from Patriots head coach Glenn Simpson a little later on. We'll continue to preview the matchup on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show after this. It wraps up our check of the area schedule, brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance at 724 Lakeview Drive near the intersection of Rockcliffe Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-4596. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out of there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We welcome you back in to Coburn Field. Tonight, the Martinsburg Bulldogs play host to the Washington Patriots in an Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference matchup. Along with Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller. On the sideline, Jason Colrick. We'll check in with him in a moment. Matt Crawford, our engineer and host, back at the studio. Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick running cameras. Ash Curry is our on-site producer. Vic, let's begin to break down this matchup. A tough one for these Washington Patriots, and you hear sometimes where we'll make the statement or a coach will make the statement of a team being just outmatched and or undermanned. We're talking literal here. The Washington Patriots have a roster of 27 players, 7 seniors, 11 juniors, 8 sophomores, and 1 freshman, matching up against the Martinsburg team tonight that comes in with a roster of 59 players, including 22 seniors, 20 juniors, 17 sophomores, not a freshman on this year's varsity roster for the Bulldogs. That's what we're talking about in this matchup tonight. No doubt Washington will come in and give the effort. Coach Simpson and his staff have really put that into these players, and they come out and they'll be afraid of no one, but it is an uphill battle today against the Bulldogs.
Well, no question it's going to be an uphill battle. The thing is that when you come into a football game like this and you're Washington, you want to come in and do what you do best, and that is they want to run the football. They want to try to pick up some first downs, and again, if we go back to the last 4 weeks or whatever, the big thing I really believe for most of these teams, you're going to have to do something on first and second down. You cannot have third and longs. It's just not going to work against this football team. And this is a team that runs the football predominantly. They will run probably 9 out of 10 downs percentage-wise. But what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to pick up first downs. It's not one of those things. I thought Hedgesville had the right idea on offense. The first team that really legitimately came in and said, we're going to hold the ball as long as we possibly can. They only had a couple delay of game penalties, and that was late in the ball game, which the game was well decided then. But they did some good things early in the football game, picked up some first downs, ran some time off the clock. But, you know, one of the things that, you know, I talk about Martinsburg being good and progressing, when they got the football after those first couple series that Hedgesville had, they didn't panic. They didn't rush and say, we got to get some points on the board. We got to do some things right now. They just took their good methodical time, and they were able to, you know, do what they normally do, run the football or throw it, whichever one that the other team gives them. And that's why I think this is really a mature football team. And Washington, yeah, they definitely have their hands full tonight. And believe it or not, you know, I hate to hear people say this, and it doesn't mean this literally, but they're playing not only tonight, but they're playing for next week and the following week and the following week, because they're in a new offense, and they want to take that offense and kind of just finesse that offense to the point where they're able to run it, and when they run against somebody of their own caliber, they should feel like they should be able to win or at least stay in the ball game.
Vic, you hit the nail on the head when you talk about the importance of first and second down. When you look at this Bulldog defense this year, opponents are just 11 of 52 on third downs. That is 21.15%. If you can't get a third down play to go your way, you're punting the football. Martinsburg has special teams that can bring it back, or you're giving it to that very deadly offense. And so first and second down in this running attack, this single wing, will be important for the Patriots. Hey, how much has this team improved? Get these numbers. Are you ready? Last year, in an 0-10 season, the Patriots scored 92 points all year. Through their first 4 games, 110 points, averaging 28 a game. Last year, gave up some 553 points, or 55 points a game through a 10-game schedule. So far this year, 84 points through 4 games, including pitching a shutout. That comes out to 21 points a game, moving in the right direction, facing a tough challenge tonight against Martinsburg. Well, both teams have made their way back to the locker rooms. So let's check in down on the sideline with Jason.
Man, it is absolutely a stunning night out here. Martinsburg went through a very good workout tonight. They look ready to come out and attack here on homecoming night. But, you know, this crowd is actually pretty nice for a homecoming night. It's good to see some of the Martinsburg former players out here. You see Tyson out here. You've seen Jalen out here and a bunch of other players. So it's good to see those players come back.
All right, Jason Colrick on the sideline. Coming up next, we'll hear from Glenn Simpson in his 4th year as a head coach for the Washington Patriots. We'll get his take on his team and as well on this matchup as Washington takes on Martinsburg tonight. Our own Matt Crawford able to head down to Charlestown earlier this week and catch up with the coach. That conversation coming your way next on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com.
And welcome you back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's time to talk to opposing coach. This week we're talking to Washington Patriot head coach Glenn Simpson. Coach Simpson, first let's start with a good win from your team last week. What did you see against Parkview?
Well, I saw our kids go out there and execute the game plan. They executed our system, probably the best that they have all season. And it was good to see the hard work that we had put in throughout the course of the early season and our bye week to see some productive football being played.
I know when we talked to you earlier in the season, right around that bye week, it was kind of a mixed feeling as to whether that bye week would be a good time of the year or a bad time of the year. Now that you're a few weeks out, how do you assess how nice that bye week was at that point in the season?
It actually worked out very well for us because, like I said, we had some things schematically that we needed to tighten up, and we needed some time to heal up a little bit. We had run into a rash of injuries and some illness, and so the bye week hit us at a really good time.
Now at the halfway point of the season, what grade overall would you give your team? I know a lot of new pieces coming in. Where do you assess where they are at the midpoint?
Well, right now, I don't give us anything too great. I mean, we're, even up. We're not. We're average right now, and we got a lot to prove. A lot to prove through the rest of the season. Starting this Friday, we got a whale of a football team that we get to play. It's a measuring stick game, and we're excited to do it.
What do you see in the Martinsburg Bulldogs this year that is the same but different from years past?
I don't see a lot different from years past because, number one, they're well coached. They're disciplined in their approach to the game. They're experienced. They're big, they're strong, they're fast. They're the champs for a reason.
The playoff point system is already out this early in the season. How much do you pay attention to that? Because right now, if the season were to end, you guys would be in. Is that talked about at all?
We're aware of it. Absolutely, we're aware of it. We have goals this season as well. So, the team's aware of it, the coaching staff's aware of it, and it's not something that we dwell on, but it is something that, hey, look, fellas, look where we're at. Where do we want to be at the end of this thing, and how are we going to get there?
What have been the goals of practice this week going into this Friday's game?
Trying to get schematically our scouting report locked down so that we can try to be in the right spot at the right time against a very talented Bulldog team.
There's Washington Patriot head coach Glenn Simpson. We'll have keys to the game next on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're a part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
We continue with the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show as we welcome you back into Coburn Field. Lights on, breeze blowing, temperature dropping. Fall weather is in the air as we get ready for this one tonight between Martinsburg and Washington. Vic, time for our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Call 304-267-3050. Well, you hit one of those keys earlier for the Washington Patriots, first and second down. What else do you see for them?
Well, I think one of the most important things is the fact that they can't afford to make mistakes. They can't fumble the ball. You know, this is something that's going to be really detrimental for them. And lost yardage plays. Yeah. That's going to be really, really tough if they have those situations, simply because their offense doesn't lend to the big play. It's, the wing T offense or a single wing. They do not lend to big plays, 10, 15, 20 yards and further down the field. They're going to at some point throw the football. There are going to be some plays here tonight. It may be 3rd and 18, and you'll see them run the football or whatever. And people are saying, well, they're not going to get it that way. Well, they're not built for that. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they've got to try to stay out of those situations as much as possible.
So stay within themselves.
They got to stay within themselves, and even if it's 4th and 10, they can't afford to have minus yardage, number one. And number two, they can't do things like certain trick plays like fake punt and those types of things like that, because it's only going to put them deeper in the hole, and this Martinsburg team can strike from so far.
How about for this Martinsburg team? I think it's been the same just about every week. You basically tell us they just got to keep doing what they do.
Yeah, they have to be who they are, and that is they just come out and play the way they have been playing. I mean, they're so talented in all areas. I mean, offense, defense, special teams, and you take a look at the guys up front, and the guys go almost unnoticed, and I notice them because defensively people can't run on them. Offensively, I mean, we saw the old pancake blocks last week from some of the linemen drilling guys into the ground, and good legitimate blocks, that is, and they just simply manhandle people. I think Hedgesville had the idea they were going to take away the passing game last week, and they attempted to do that, and Martinsburg ran over top of them, and then when they tried to take that away, they threw the ball on them. And of course, we've seen 99-yard punt returns and things of this nature, so they can hit you from so many different areas. Again, as I said before, they just have to stay within themselves, do what they do best, and I don't think they'll have any problems.
Very balanced offense for Martinsburg coming into this one. 199.4 yards a game on the ground, 174.6 through the air. That's 374 total yards of offense per game. Defense giving up just 43.6 on the ground per game against a team that comes in today wanting to run the football. 70 through the air, or a total of about 113.6 yards a game, all that Bulldog defense is giving up.
Yeah, they have been very, very stingy, and that's one of the bad parts about playing this football team, is they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they force you out of your game plan and things that you want to do so early in the ball game. First quarter, after maybe 2 series or whatever, you may be down 14-0, and now all of a sudden you've got to, instead of those 3 and 4 yards you got to pick up, now it's got to be 7 or 8 yards, and it's just really hard to do.
That wraps up our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC, locally owned. They know the business and they're part of the community. You can win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs. Just call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. We will wrap up our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show right now and send it back to the studio. When we come back here to Coburn Field, we'll take a look at today's starting lineups, get you ready for the opening kick. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game. Let's go.
Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football. Today's game is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford, your friendly Martinsburg Ford dealer. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood. Berkeley and Morgan County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Miller Honda, just one click away at MyMillerHonda.com. The Marius Group, start planning for a brilliant future. Johnny's, restaurant quality foods at wholesale prices. J&P Service and Repair, getting your tractor back in gear. Hagerstown Ford, FordofHagerstown.com. And WBU Medicine University Healthcare, West Virginia's largest healthcare provider.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
There you go, the Martinsburg High School Marching Band with our national anthem as we welcome you back in to Coburn Field. Time for a look at the starting lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, then start at D&N to get it fixed right the first time. They're family owned and operated since 1974. Call 304-267-4078. We begin with the visitors from Washington High School. Their starting offense will have Frankie Amore, number 7, at quarterback. Joining him in the backfield is number 4, running back Jace Bradbury. Also in the backfield at running back, number 44, Colton Childress. Also listed at running back, number 35, Terrence Jones. The lone wide receiver is number 14, Cody Grove, while the tight end, number 32, Dylan Painter. Along the offensive line, number 67, Fleetwood White. Looks like he'll be a tackle, along with 71, Jonathan Lavely. The guards wearing number 50, Zach Browning, and number 66, Chase Fournier. And number 60, the center, is Adam Sharp. You're looking at a couple of juniors, a couple of seniors, and a sophomore center along that offensive front line that will be so key in today's game. The starting defense along the defensive front line, number 67, Fleetwood White, along with 66, Chase Fournier. Also number 71, Jonathan Lavely, and number 60, Adam Sharp. A lot of two-way guys with just 27 on the roster. Linebackers include Colton Childress along with Jace Bradbury. At defensive back, number 18, Ethan Cockrell. Number 35, Terrence Jones. Number 14, Cody Grove. And number 27, Jacob Gawkler. I give those numbers because when you look through that starting lineup, you're looking at only 2 guys that go one way on defense that don't play on offense, and that would mean vice versa. So you've got about 9 guys that are trying to go both ways. Now for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Elijah Banks will be the starting quarterback. Naeem Kearney, the tailback. Gerard Bowie, Teddy Marshall, Malachi Brown, and Anthony Smith are the wideouts. Terrell Good and Matt Bednarski tackles. Michael Turner and Ty Lucas guards. Jacob Zittel is the starting center. Christian Slack will see some time there as well. Defensively, Matt Bednarski and Terrell Good are ends with Ty Lucas as a nose guard. Braxton Todd and Malachi Brown outside backers. Bryce Morris, Quentin Brown, and Trey Sign your inside backers. Teddy Marshall and Dorn Smith are corners, and Anthony Smith is the free safety. Lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078. We'll take our final break as the captains meet at midfield. When we come back, we'll tell you what happened with the coin toss, and we'll have today's opening kick. It's Martinsburg hosting Washington on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs, or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
Martinsburg apparently winning the toss and electing to take the football as we will get this one underway. Before we do, let's check in with Jason Colrick down on the sideline.
Yeah, Martinsburg wants to get that defense out there and establish their defense and be able to shut them down and get the ball back. So it's going to be interesting out here. The sun is set. It is a little bit cool out here and going to be a little bit cooler. And as Coach said, at least he's not sweating down here.
No sweating going on right now on a beautiful evening for high school football. Martinsburg on the near sideline, the black pants, the orange tops, black lettering, and a little kind of silver or gray trim, the black football helmet with the white state and the orange M outlined in black. Coming onto the field, the Washington Patriots on that far sideline, the red pants, white jersey tops, red lettering, blue trim, that red football helmet with the white W for Washington. Opening kick brought to you by Davis Designs. They remind you, first impressions mean a lot. Personal and business signs, vehicle wraps, from mild to wild. Let Tom take care of all your signage needs. Davis Designs at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call, 304-267-7807. Well, the Martinsburg offense going to get out there first. Chance to see what they can do to establish a flow for this one. Griffin Price, a junior, listed as a wideout and a defensive back, also doing the kicking duties. Places it on the tee at the 40-yard line to our right. He will mark out his steps as we get ready to get week number 6 underway. Wow, it's hard to believe that. 5 games already in the book. Washington already with their bye coming in at 2-2. Martinsburg 5-0. Well, the kick coming to the near sideline and ends up going out of bounds, and that will give Martinsburg the football at their own 35-yard line. So it looked like a directional type of kick for Griffin Price, trying to maybe get it over to this near sideline, but ended up kicking it out of bounds, and Martinsburg will have good field position to get this opening drive of the game started. Led by quarterback Elijah Banks, 52 of 80 for 873 yards, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, completing Vic 65% of his passes.
Matt, I'm looking at this defensive setup here. They could have a field day here throwing the football against this football team right now. They're not even lined up properly.
4 down linemen right now. They'll bring a man in motion. Will the Bulldogs give that little touch pass to Gerard Bowie? Turns the corner on that left side, and down that far sideline, there he goes. Good blocking out in front for Malachi Brown, and then just the speed of Gerard Bowie, who will take the opening play. 65 yards for a Bulldog score.
Wow, they were playing off the wideouts out there. They gave him plenty of cushion. So if they throw the football, they're going to throw underneath. If they're going to run the football, they have plenty of opportunities to line up the blocks, which they did, and it just worked out just perfectly for them.
I believe that's going to go down as a pass play. That was that little touch pass where the snap comes back and the quarterback just kind of taps it to Bowie going by, not a direct handoff. So a passing play covering 65 yards for the score. Extra point attempt is on the way, and Chris Catlett puts it through. Now 30 for 32 in PATs on the season. Now you look up and see just 13 seconds off that clock, and already it's a 7-0 Martinsburg lead. We'll be back after this.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Taylor Bosley pulling in the ensuing kickoff after the Bulldog touchdown, and as he was racing across the field, got stripped of the football and went right into the hands of the Bulldogs' Malachi Brown, and he'll take it about 10 yards into the end zone, and just like that, a special teams touchdown, and Martinsburg out in front early.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything worse for Washington to get started here. You had one play from scrimmage, you get a touchdown, and now you receive the kickoff from the touchdown, and you fumble it in midair. Malachi Brown catches it in midair, walks it into the end zone.
So Catlett for another extra point. It is up, and it is good. That took just another 10 seconds off the clock, so only 23 seconds has gone by in this football game, and already a 14-0 lead for Martinsburg. Well, our sideline reports are being brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more online at folk4wv.com. Jason, wow, you can't start much faster than the Dogs.
No, you really can't. You're 23 seconds into the game and up 14-0. Washington, you know, the coach talked about it. They like to keep the ball away and limit the possessions, and when you're down 14-0, if you want a chance to win this game, you're not going to be able to do that. Now you're already playing from behind.
Yeah, you heard Vic at the beginning of the game. You talked about it. You can't have mistakes, turnovers, and Martinsburg, well, able to take advantage on that kick. So Chris Catlett puts it on the tee at the 40 to our left. He will approach again. Taylor Bosley back deep along the near side. And the kick going to once again head his direction. Again, he'll take it right around the 5, backpedaling inside the 5. Works to the middle of the field, gets a little seam, and then runs into Trey Sign at the 20. Nice job to drag him out across the 25 and all the way to the 29-yard line. Trey Sign with that special teams tackle, but kind of hanging on there at the end.
Well, that was a play there where they got a chance to get their feet wet. They actually made an offensive play here on the kick return. 11:27, we're in the first quarter. 2 touches by Martinsburg, and it's 14-0. So let's see what Washington does to come out in their offense and see if they can maintain a little bit of an offensive drive here. They're still in the huddle with 17 seconds on the play clock.
Frankie Amore, listed as the starting quarterback, going to be joined in the backfield by Jace Bradbury. Tight slots, 2 of them in fact, to the right. There is the snap, and the blockers trying to lead the way for the quarterback to turn the corner on this near side, and Frankie Amore very quickly spun down.
Well, you know, amazing on that particular play. Malachi Brown made the tackle, but he was coming right toward us, Matt, and we could see, it looked like he could turn the corner. All of a sudden, here comes Malachi Brown I won't say out of nowhere, but just simply his speed was able to catch him there and throw him for a couple-yard loss.
No, if he missed him, Quentin Brown in there as well as one of the linebackers. As a pair of linebackers out there to try to get to him. Amore in the backfield awaiting that snap. Sends Bradbury in motion to that far side. Amore, no place to go as he is very quickly grabbed in the backfield and taken down. That looks to be 5'8". That's Ty Lucas. No, 5'8", Matthew Bednarski. And 59 is Lucas. That's two big guys up front that are going to be tough to contend with all night.
And, you know, those two guys, both of those two guys with this offensive line, they're going to have to double team. I mean, you can't double team both of those guys because, first of all, your blocking scheme doesn't allow that. And they just can't handle either one of those guys up front. So it could be a long night here.
That's a loss of 3 more, so it brings up a 3rd down and 15. Washington football at their own 24-yard line. That is Bradbury now, it looks like, in the backfield, taking that direct snap and straight ahead running. Gets taken down pretty quickly, and on that tackle is Michael Turner. And a couple of linebackers getting in on that stop as well, including Quentin Brown. That stop comes back out at the 28, so a 4-yard gain for Bradbury, but the punting unit's going to have to come on.
A little bit of discussion on the sideline there for Washington. Now finally they send their punt team on.
Looking to see if the punter will be the same as our place kicker, and it will be Griffin Price. We will await that snap to get that kick away. A late player coming on for Washington, and let's see if they have to burn a timeout. They do. So a timeout on the field taken by head coach Glenn Simpson in his 4th year leading this program. 5 wins, 29 losses, trying to turn things around for a program that as a whole has not experienced a lot of success. Vic, you're looking at a team that played their first season in 2008, and through 11 seasons, they've had 1 year where they finished 500, 5-5. That came in 2011. 1 year where they were better than 500. That came in 2013 when they made it to the playoffs at 7-4, lost in the opening round, but 9 times under 500, and 5 of those with 0 or 1 win.
Yeah, it has been a struggle. This has been an uphill battle, and you know, not only at Washington, but you know, in Jefferson as well, in the county. So maybe there's something they need to look at as far as their younger program is concerned.
The snap needing to go back, but wait a minute, movement by Martinsburg, which led to movement by a Washington lineman. Malachi Brown was the one who started early for Martinsburg, and I think he'll be the one called for the offside penalty. So +5 encroachment or offside on Martinsburg. First penalty of the ball game, and it will move to what is now going to be 4th down and just about 6 as that football is at about the 33-yard line. Snap back a little high. Nice job by Price to go up and get it and still get the kick out of there. Takes a little bit of a Washington bounce before being grabbed by Ike Spangler, and Martinsburg will have it at the 46-yard line in Bulldog territory. Not bad, a 21-yard punt in what could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that had disaster written all over it. He did a good job of just controlling that snap. He timed it out just well enough to be able to get it and come down with it and get the kickoff.
Second offensive possession for Martinsburg, already out in front by a 14-0 score, 8:43 to play here in quarter number 1. Martinsburg lining up with 2 receivers to each side, but very tightly bunched together. Handoff going to Naeem Kearney, turns the corner on this right side and goes out of bounds, taken down at the end of the play by Jace Bradbury. He was able to get into Washington territory to the 47 for a gain of about 7.
Kind of a double wing formation, something a little different. We haven't seen much of Martinsburg, that formation last time.
Making more of a gain of 6, and it will set up 2nd down and 4 as the football will get spotted at the 48 of Washington. Hand off to the man in motion, and that is Anthony Smith turning the corner on the left side. He's inside the 30, inside the 20, and forced out of bounds along that far sideline. Helping to make that stop was Taylor Bosley, but not before Smith got inside the 20 and all the way down to the 18-yard line, 30 yards on that carry.
Very little resistance over there on that side over there. You know, you're so afraid of their passing game that you don't let guys get behind you, so they're giving ground on those receivers, and those receivers are coming out just making good open field blocks, allowing the runner to get the extra yardage. 8:28 to go, first quarter, 14-0. Martinsburg with the ball, threatening again.
2 receivers each way. Banks has the shotgun snap. Quick toss far side. Grab made by Malachi Brown. Very quickly wrapped up that time by Bosley. Able to get a little help over there to eventually bring down Brown. They'll spot him at the 14 after a 4-yard gain.
That's a good job of recovery that time, coming up on that one. You know, one of the things that helps you a little bit is you get closer to the goal line. You have to play a little bit tighter. He did a nice job of open field tackling on that play.
2nd down and 6 from the Washington 14. Banks to throw over the middle, rifles one into the end zone, and a diving grab is made by Gerard Bowie, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter.
Good throw that time by Banks. Either he's going to catch it or no one was going to get it. Just a quick slant pass right across the middle. 7:52 to go here. We're still in the first quarter, and it's 20-0.
Good start for this Bulldog offense. Banks, we've got him now 3 for 3. Has thrown for 83 yards and a couple of scores. Trenton Sherman is the holder. Chris Catlett for the PAT. Snap and placement. Kick is up, and it is good. 7:52 to play in the first. We take a break with Martinsburg in front now, 21-0.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Is your dog driving you nuts? Does he have behavioral issues? Is she not listening? It doesn't have to stay that way forever. Hi, I'm Julie.
And I'm Josh. We own and operate Julie's Canine Academy, a family dog training business.
You are not alone, and there is hope for you and your dog. With the right training and right approach, we can help with any problem. We provide total off-leash training on our 6 acres of dog paradise in Falling Waters. Visit juliescanineacademy.com. That's Julie's, K with the number 9, academy.com.
Any dog, any breed, any problem.
Deep kickoff that goes through the hands of Taylor Bosley, eventually tracking it down but ending up in the end zone. That's the automatic touchback on the high school level, and that means Washington will get the football at their own 20-yard line. The scoring drive summary being brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Phone 304-263-3361 for the Bulldogs. 4 plays, 54 yards, and took just 51 seconds as Elijah Banks hit Gerard Bowie from 14 yards out to put the Dogs in front now, 21-0.
Even though he did touch that kickoff, that's called a muff, and it went into the end zone. Anytime the ball crosses the end line in high school football, the play is dead.
Frankie Amore back out there in the quarterback position. Tight wing to this near side, tight slot to the far side. 2 receivers out that way as well. And straight ahead running, Amore bounces off the pile, looking for some running room here to the near side. Teddy Marshall grabs him. Kevon Warren, a linebacker, helping out to make that stop after a gain of just a couple.
Well, you know, again, even though he was stopped there at the line of scrimmage and he bounced it outside, it looked like it had some promise there as he was coming toward us again with the football. But, again, the speed of Martinsburg gets there in such a hurry.
That is now 3 carries, 0 yards in the early going for Frankie Amore, the junior quarterback. Had such a big game in that opener against Hedgesville, part of that 34-30 win. Looks like it'll be Jace Bradbury joining Amore in the backfield. Both of them with their hands out, waiting to see who gets that snap. It's Amore looking for running room to the right. No place to go. Wow, very quickly grabbed by the Bulldog linebacker Braxton Todd, who eventually brings him down. They'll mark the progress as they blew the whistles at about the 17-yard line, a loss of 6.
Just way too much speed and way too much penetration from the guys up front. They got the offensive linemen are kind of getting in the way of the running backs or the quarterback, whomever is carrying the football back there. They're just being the offensive line just being pushed backwards and forcing the running backs to run deeper. And of course, with Martinsburg's speed, that's what makes that play so difficult for them to gain yardage. They're down to 8 seconds to go, and here's a player bringing a play in from. They're going to have to call a timeout. They're going to get a delay of game.
Down to 2, down to 1, down to 0, and hold on. Yep, timeout taken by head coach Glenn Simpson. Let's take the 30-second break, and then we'll come back. We have 6:02 to play in quarter number 1. It's Martinsburg leading Washington 21-0.
Shirts. Sheets. Hand towels. Bath towels. Gym wear, underwear, I don't care, or whatever wear. You can't skip laundry, but now you can skip adding detergent. Fill once and wash up to 40 loads. Select Whirlpool washers with load and go dispenser. Another way we're shaping the future of care.
Sideline reports a service of Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more at Folk, the number 4, WV.com. We check in with Jason. Not picking up Jason right now. Jason, try one more time.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Martinsburg's come out here and it's obviously established that Washington cannot run up the middle or out to the side. It's going to be interesting to see if they at least try to open this up with some sort of short passing game or something like that to establish some yardage.
I go back to that opener as we had a chance to call that game between Hedgesville and Washington, and I believe threw only about 3 passes that entire game. Now, they did get the ground game going in that one with over 300 rushing yards, but when they did throw, it was to the tight end on a 3rd down and 13. Amore and Bradbury both in the backfield, hands out, and the snap goes to Frankie Amore. Nice jump, a move to get around the pile, and then races out of bounds on that far side just beyond the 20. Looks like they'll spot it at the 21. That gain good for 4, and again, the punting unit going to have to come on.
You know, the bad part about it, again, for Washington in their situation, Martinsburg in secondary basically man-to-man coverage. So if you're in tight like they are with one receiver, one flanker out there, so is the defense. So you got a lot of guys in there that you got to block, and that's what makes it so difficult.
Well, with that single wing, that's your formation, right? You don't spread it out a whole lot.
Right, you don't spread it out. That's your offense, and you live or die by it.
Punting the football again will be Griffin Price. Gets that one out of there. High wobbly kick that bounces at about the 38 in Washington territory. Takes a Patriot roll out to the midfield stripe. We'll give him that midfield stripe. And that punt will cover about 29 yards with no return. And Martinsburg will get ready for their 3rd offensive possession. They picked up where they left off last week. Vic's second half against Hedgesville, 9 offensive plays, 5 touchdowns, only 4 plays where they didn't score. Martinsburg so far has run 5 offensive plays, and they found the end zone twice. From the midfield stripe, Banks to throw. Receiver screen near side, caught by Teddy Marshall. Wide receivers blocking out in front. Marshall able to weave through traffic, eventually thrown down by Jace Bradbury. They'll spot the football inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Well, there again, we're looking at the secondary who's playing off pretty soft, and they basically, because they know they're outmanned as far as speed and not going to allow Martinsburg to get deep. But at the same time, when you come up, you've got to, Martinsburg's doing a good job of blocking these guys when they do come up, and that's one of the good things for them. They're doing a good job of blocking without getting a holding call.
On 1st and 10, man in motion, handoff to Sign, who then pitches to Gerard Bowie. Bowie racing up the near sideline, gets forced out of bounds by Jacob Gockler, who was able to get the arms extended and really push him out right at that 10-yard line.
What I'd kind of like to see that play on going to the wide side of the field. That would have been very interesting because he just simply ran out of space over here. Had he had the wide side of the field, he might have been in the end zone.
That's a pretty interesting play call there. It's not often you see the jet sweep coupled with an option pitch.
Well, that's one for the scouting teams that we play in Martinsburg.
Elijah Banks handing this one off to Trey Sign. Started right, gets a cutback lane to his left, and he'll race into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Very nifty moves for Trey Sign.
He made it look easy there. They had a couple Washington players in position, but again, Washington has not seen this kind of team speed. Well, I don't think anybody has thus far this year seen this kind of team speed, and Sign just showing you his speed and his ability to make cuts.
Picks up his second rushing touchdown on this season. 3 offensive possessions, and Martinsburg has scored a special teams touchdown in there as well, and a fumble on a kickoff. Now Chris Catlett adds the PAT, another 60-second break. 4:48 to play in quarter number 1 already. 28-0 Martinsburg.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Experience all that the West Virginia Breeders' Classics has to offer. The golf tournament, the gala, the races, experience the classics, the West Virginia Breeders' Classics.
The kickoff taken inside the 5-yard line by Taylor Bosley along the near side hash marks. Pushes his way forward out to the 20. It's like a rugby scrum as the pile continues to work towards the middle of the field, and an extra 3 yards picked up out to the 23-yard line. Scoring summary brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Auto, home, life, business, disability, retirement. Smallwood Small is your total insurance provider. Phone them at 304-263-3361. 3 plays, 50 yards, 41 seconds. Trey Sign, a 10-yard touchdown run. His second TD run of the season. 28-0 Martinsburg. We've got 4:35 to play in quarter number 1. Third offensive possession for the Patriots. From their own 23, Frankie Amore. Jace Bradbury in the backfield. Snap goes to Amore. He's going to hand it off to a man in motion and very quickly spun, but put his hand down, kept the play alive, and able to get back to where the initial contact was made. On that one is Terrence Jones, a junior running back, and he'll still be thrown down for a loss. Back to the 18-yard line, -5.
It's just a penetration by Martinsburg. A snap of the football. First of all, when you run this offensive set, you're bringing more people to the line of scrimmage. You have to be able to beat people up front. It'd be great if you're able to bust one and, up the middle or something like that around the end, but basically you're being outmanned. Martinsburg playing man-to-man defense in the secondary. You've got one wide out, so you've got virtually 10 on 8 in there.
Under 4 minutes on a running first quarter clock. Man in motion. Inside handoff going to Bradbury. Met in the hole by Bryce Morris, a Bulldog linebacker. A number of Bulldogs in on that stop, including Bednarski. Did they give him a yard? Nope. He got back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. It'll be 3rd and 15. And Vic, you talked in the pregame about first and second down. Third and short's what they needed. They've been in a 3rd and 15, a 3rd and 13, and now another 3rd and 15.
And you know how difficult that is, obviously, for a team who does not throw the football.
Waiting to break that huddle now with 10 seconds on the play clock. Under 3 minutes now on that running first quarter clock. 28-0. Martinsburg with the lead. Amore and Bradbury in the backfield. Amore taking that direct snap, looking to turn the corner on that right side, grabbed, spun, and thrown down on the play. Malachi Brown, the one that got him by the back of the jersey and able to spin him around, and then a host of Bulldogs there to make that tackle. A loss of another couple of yards, well, at least one. Looks like they'll spot it at the 17, and the punting unit going to again have to come on.
Well, again, the defense of Martinsburg, they're looking like world beaters out there right now, and simply because they're just up front, they're just dominating up front. They're pushing the offensive linemen for Washington back into the backfield. They're forcing the backs to run deeper, and they do not have the punt team out there. They're going to, looks like, attempt to go for it.
Well, they're lining up as if they'll go for it. Nope, now it's a little pooch punt that's going to come out of there off the foot of Amore. Popped it straight up into the air. It takes a backward bounce after hitting at the 37 and is grabbed at the 34-yard line, and the punt will cover 17 yards.
Now, I'm not coaching Washington's team, but I'm kind of wondering about that particular play. It's not a fake punt, but it is a fake punt because you didn't line up in a punt formation. There's just no way that you're going to get a first down out of that. And you're not going to get Martinsburg to jump offside. If they do, it's only a 5-yard penalty. You still got another about 12 yards to go to get a first down. You might as well line up and just go ahead and kick it.
1st and 10 from the Washington 34. Give to Naeem Kearney. Turns the corner on this near side. Blocking downfield by Teddy Marshall. Also Gerard Bowie, and it springs him into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Snap came from the far side hash mark and running wide side right. Kearney shows his speed as he goes in from 34 yards out.
Well, you know he has the speed and all. What I did like, though, I watched him size up his blocker in front of him. I didn't catch who it was who was the lead blocker on that.
That was Teddy Marshall, the wideout.
Yeah, I thought. Great block by Marshall, just taking his guy down the field, and of course he was reading the block and got into the end zone.
Naeem Kearney with 7 rushing touchdowns now on the season. Another extra point attempt up and good for Chris Catlett. 5 for 5 now in this game, lifts him to 34 in 36 attempts on the season. Let's take just a 30-second break with still 1:43 remaining in quarter number 1, and Martinsburg out in front, 35-0.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, you know, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Back again here at Coburn Field. Martinsburg scoring on each of their first 4 offensive possessions. A fumble on a kickoff returned, about 10 yards for a score in there as well, and that has Martinsburg in front 35-0 this last scoring drive. One play, 34 yards, took just 10 seconds. Bosley on the return, has it at the 10, heads to the far side of the field, but cannot escape the special teams tackle. It looks to be 17 coming off the field, and that is Hudson Clement, a 5'10 sophomore, with that special teams tackle, and Washington will take over at about their own, we'll call it 19-yard line. Their 4th possession of this opening quarter, and Vic so far still in negative yardage territory.
Yeah, it's just been domination up front from the Martinsburg defensive front. Those guys, again, like I said before, they just are pushing the linemen back off the football into the backfield, forcing the running backs to run deeper, and of course with the speed of their linebackers and all, they're just simply mauling them right now.
Amore out of the shotgun, throws a pass to that far side. The catch is made, and the receiver picks up a couple of extra yards before going out of bounds. That looks to be 3-2, and that is Dylan Painter, the sophomore tight end, who will take it to the 23 for a 4-yard gain.
Good job there. It's come out, a little quick out pattern to the tight end. Try to get something on first down and pick up 4 yards. We're down to 1:20 to go first quarter. Just tuning in, is 35-0 Martinsburg, and they have been as dominant in this game as the score indicates.
And they've been dominant in this series throughout. Give you some numbers on that as we go, including even last year's matchup. Man in motion into the backfield, and it's Bradbury who takes that direct snap and then fakes that end around but keeps it pushing forward. Maybe a gain of a yard out to the 24-yard line. Last year, as these two teams met, Martinsburg scored 21 in the first and added 34 points in that second quarter as they opened that halftime lead out to 55-0. Went on for the 67-0 victory. Total yardage last year for Washington, -5, and that included -7 in rushing. And this year, totally different attack designed to run the football.
Yeah, and that's, believe me, this offense was not set up for Martinsburg to play Martinsburg. Not a team with this type of a defense, but it's been very effective for them against other teams.
It was a gain of 1 to the 24, so a 3rd down and 5, manageable distance for Washington, and Amore looking to pick up that first down off the right side of the line.
I think he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage at best.
Yep, got hit and very quickly taken down.
And that's going to end the first quarter.
There you go. We'll take our 1-minute timeout before returning for the second quarter of action. After 1 at Coburn Field, Martinsburg leads Washington 35-0.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Today we're going to show you how easy it is to make restaurant quality soup in your own home. Step 1, grab a bag of any of the delicious flavors of soups at Johnny's. Step 2, put the soup in the pot and add water. Step 3, walk away. In about 45 minutes, restaurant quality soup for the entire family.
Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller, Jason Colrick on the sideline, Matt Crawford at the studio, Zach Van Meter, Eric Sterick running cameras, Ash Curry, our on-site producer. Quarter number 2 getting underway from Coburn Field, 35-0 Martinsburg. Price taking the snap, getting that punt out of there. It will take a roll and will, let's see, go out to about the 49-yard line. Boy, the line of scrimmage there was the 24, so that punt covers 25 yards, and so far in 4 punts, 21, 29, 17, and 25 yards. Martinsburg has really owned great field position when their offense has taken over.
Well, he barely got that one off. He had to rush it that time. Big time pressure.
Pardon me, now as they spot that football, it's actually at the 45-yard line. So knock that down to about 21 yards on that punt. 11:53 to play here in our first half. 5th offensive possession for Martinsburg. Elijah Banks to throw. Over the middle, catch is made. That is Anthony Smith, who races up the middle of the field inside the 30, the 25, and taken down at the 20 by Taylor Bosley.
I tell you, just had plenty of room there. Just a nice little slant pass across the middle. And Bosley's a nice little player. Yeah. He's been everywhere doing everything for this football team.
Gain of 20 on that one. First down, gain of 25 on that one. It's 1st and 10 from the 20. Malachi Brown comes in motion, and a little lateral to the near side. And on that carry, one of the big fellas for Martinsburg, Matthew Bednarski. And Bednarski, after fighting off a few tackles, will make his way down to the 15-yard line, a gain of 5. That is a lateral, so it officially will go down as a carry for Bednarski.
Looked like a running back. Next week he'll want to carry it a few more times. Anthony Smith on a great block on that play.
Martinsburg showing some new things, new wrinkles here this week. Man in motion, Teddy Marshall now cuts upfield on the snap of the football. Banks rolling far side, throws back over the middle, and then gets taken down as he let go of that football. Very good pressure that time by Washington, as getting to the quarterback was Ike Spangler. And I couldn't quite make out the other number. That might be, is that a 6, 7? Yes, it is. And that would be Fleetwood White.
Yeah, that was good pressure that time by Washington. And what Banks is trying to do is trying to get his receivers to continue into running the pattern or coming back to the football, and he ran out of time. So that, believe it or not, that's a good play for Martinsburg. They haven't had that very often this year. And a couple weeks you may be seeing that.
3rd down and 6 from the 16. Screen pass near side. Grab made. Malachi Brown able to get around a couple of blocks and then make his way into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
Nice job of running after the catch by Malachi Brown, setting up his blocks. And it's just been, basically do what you do best. And again, that secondary is playing off of you. You throw in front of them, and with the guys that can run the way they can run, just get the ball to them, and everything's been positive.
Yeah, this offense has yet to even be slowed down, as Martinsburg has scored now on each of their first 5 possessions. Extra point attempt coming for Sam Duffy this time. Snap and placement. Kick is up, and it is through. 10:28 remaining in the first half. We take a break with Martinsburg in front of Washington, 42-0.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
The kickoff is away, and I believe that was Duffy, and it was on that kick. And the return man, Bosley, coming to the near side of the field, stripped of the football as he got out across the 20. It is still loose, and let's see who comes up with it. Martinsburg will have it right on the sideline. It's Aiden Kreider who gets on that loose football. That happened right down there near Jason. Let's check in on the sidelines.
You know, that's one of the things when you're fighting for more yardage. It gives the team an opportunity just to slap at the ball. Martinsburg held the player up and just slapped at the ball and made a nice recovery right here on the sidelines.
That is a pair of special teams turnovers that have occurred now for the Washington Patriots, and Martinsburg is set up at the 19-yard line. On first down, Banks fade into the back near corner of the end zone, and leaping up and making the grab is Teddy Marshall. He went high into the air, reached right over the top of Jacob Gockler, and pulls it in for the Bulldog score.
Well, wow. There aren't very many teams that have players that are capable of doing what he just did. Just a great catch. It was just to put it up in the air and let me go after it. It's kind of like a rebound off the backboard or something, and just jump right over top of him.
So the Bulldogs very quickly get into the end zone again. 19 yards on that scoring strike. 19th touchdown pass on the season now for Banks. And this extra point attempt for Nate Romer, and it is up and it is through. We'll take 30 seconds and then come back to Coburn Field, where Martinsburg, with 10:10 to play in the first half, leads Washington 49-0.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
Now the Martinsburg Bulldogs scoring at will in the early going of this one, as they have now had 6 offensive possessions. They have found pay dirt all 6 times. They have scored on a special teams score, a fumble on a kickoff return, 10 yards for a touchdown, and this last score a result of another fumble on a kickoff. Now this kick is away, and one of the up men going to take this one at about the 18-yard line. Gets a little seam out across the 25 and the 30, and gets taken down just beyond the 35-yard line. On that return for the Washington Patriots was Ethan Cockrell, listed as a running back and a defensive back, and the sophomore with a nice return.
Alex Allaball on the tackle for Martinsburg. 10 minutes and 3 seconds ago here in the first half, 49-0. And this is going to be very, very difficult because Martinsburg now is going to be playing a couple of new players here or there. But we've got a long way to go. We've got a couple new defensive tackles in there, at least one anyway, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But you know, you want to get your players an opportunity to play, your starters, and this is awfully early in the football game. I understand the second half, but this is awfully early here in the second quarter.
Bradbury running the quarterback position, takes that snap, turns as though he might hand it to Terrence Jones, who had gone in motion. Bradbury around the left end will pick up a couple of yards, it looks like, to the 39. We've got Bradbury now 4 carries for 7 yards.
Well, give him 1 yard. They moved it back here.
Oh. Set it at the 38. So, yeah, all right, give him 6 yards on his 4 carries. 7 carries minus 3 yards for Frankie Amore at quarterback. 2nd down and 9. Looks like both Amore and Bradbury are back there. Either one could take that snap. Bradbury's the one who is directly behind the center, it looks like. There is that snap back, and it's going to be an end around as the give going to a slot man to the left. That is Terrence Jones coming back to the right, and he'll get to that 37, the original line of scrimmage, losing a yard on that one, and it brings up 3rd down and 10.
Ty Lucas on the tackle there for Martinsburg. It's difficult. It really is. I'll tell you, we're watching the offensive line basically not being able to handle that big defensive front of the Martinsburg, being pushed back into the backfield, which then consequently makes the backers run a little bit deeper, running the offense, and consequently, obviously, everything slows down, and the defense gets an opportunity to get them into the backfield, and they haven't missed a tackle all night. Done a great job of tackling.
On 3rd down and 10, the snap is back. It's Amore rolling near side, throwing down the field and intercepted. Picking that one off is Dorn Smith up the near side to the 30, the 25, stays in bounds to the 20. Hit stood up and taken down at about the 18-yard line. Dorn Smith able to step in front and pick that one off. And as I look back through the totals for Dorn Smith, his first INT of the year.
That's a good job there. He read that one all the way. Made a nice catch on the interception, and Martinsburg will take over.
3 turnovers now in this first half for the Washington Patriots. 2 have come on special teams. This is the first time the offense has turned it over. And from the 18-yard line of Washington, 1st and 10, 49-0 Martinsburg already in front with 8:11 to play in the half. 3 receivers to that wide side right. Man comes in motion. And they'll give a little underneath shovel pass instead to Naeem Kearney, who goes in for the score. They faked that handoff to Gerard Bowie, who came in motion from right to left, and instead Banks gave the little underneath shovel pass to Naeem Kearney, who out of the backfield had cut in behind Bowie, and the hole opened wide, and in for the score goes Naeem Kearney.
I could tell you, Coach Walker has he's thrown some wrinkles in tonight. I've seen about 4 new plays I haven't seen all year, and it's not as much that he had to put these plays in for Washington. He's putting these plays in for the weeks down the road for people when you go to scout and say, hey, they do this, they do that. Here's a botched snap, and the extra point attempt is no good.
And there was Sam Duffy trying to get that PAT, but could not get it through. And a little bit of relief maybe for Washington. 1 point off the board as the Martinsburg lead now at 55-0. 8:04 to play in our first half, a 30-second break, and then we return to Coburn Field.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef's special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Well, another one-play drive for Martinsburg. Only needed to cover 18 yards after the fumble recovery, the interception by Dorn Smith. The ensuing kickoff hauled in by Terrence Jones. Heading to that far side, he works his way out to about the 30-yard line. That drive for Martinsburg took all of 7 seconds, and they have had a number of those kind of drives in this one. 13 seconds, 51 seconds, 41 seconds, 10 seconds. Their longest scoring drive, 1 minute and 25, 8 seconds, and now 7 seconds on this scoring drive. And that drive summary brought to you by Smallwood Small Insure, Total Insurance Solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg.
Well, I don't know who the special teams coach is, but he should feel pretty good about what this team has done here tonight. Just a gang tackling on every kickoff. It's 5, 6, 7 guys on the ball.
That is Britt Sherman, who handles the special teams, or what they call special forces. Inside handoff going to Frankie Amore, and he'll get taken down for a loss on the play. Back inside the 25, close to the 24-yard line. Bradbury took that snack, faked a handoff going one way, and gave it to Amore coming back the other. And just no place to go.
Sorry, Braxton Todd on the tackle. Martinsburg with a whole bunch of new guys in the ball game here now, and we'll catch up to them as much as we possibly can. I see Anthony Smith and also Dorian Smith, the only 2 guys I think are regular starters. Well, I'll take that back. We also see Teddy Marshall still there, but we'll get to the rest of the guys when we get an opportunity.
Second down, roughly 16 yards to go for a first from their own 24. Direct snap going to Frankie Amore, trying to turn the corner on that far side, taken down as he was going out of bounds, and a penalty marker will fly in. I believe that's Kevon Warren as the linebacker who caught up with him, and they're going to say that he was a little too far out of bounds as he finished that play by throwing him down on the track. So they'll add 15 yards for the unnecessary roughness.
Something we haven't seen much of, the flags. First one of the ball game.
Second, Martinsburg had the offside earlier. Yep, so 2 penalties, 20 yards, that's it. And they'll move that football out to the 38. So it came at the end of that play, which would have gone for a loss of a yard, and we have an injured player on that far sideline.
That's the reason we got the flag.
Yeah,
the official there actually did not throw the flag. The referee came in a little bit late and threw the flag there, and but he's up and looks like he's back in the ball game, so he's okay.
Technically, that will become, well, not first down as they mark that penalty, not an automatic first down. So it comes out to the 38-yard line, still in Washington territory, and it will bring up 3rd down and roughly 2 yards to go for a first down. Looking for their first down of the night. Bradbury back out there now at quarterback. Taking the snap, straight ahead running, pushes, but I don't think he got to the 40-yard line.
No, he's short of the 40. He had to get across, just the nose across the 40 of the football, across the 40. He's short. He's going to be at the 39-yard line. So that's going to bring up a fourth down.
That is Micah Selman, one of the defensive linemen, 6'2", 256. He's a junior who comes off the bottom of that pile, helping to stuff that play after a 1-yard gain. So Bradbury could not get it. 0 of 6 on third down conversions are the Patriots. Bradbury at 5 carries for 7 yards. And from their own 39-yard line, right now Washington lining up as if they'll go for it. Bradbury again will await the snap. He's got it, juggles it, loses it. It's down on the ground, and Martinsburg's going to have it. And it's Jarvis Thurston who picks it up, and he's going to head down the far sideline, and he'll go 39 yards for the score. That football squirted out from under the pile. Thurston picked it up and raced to open territory. Then the big return adds to the Bulldog lead.
You know, Matt, I didn't get a chance to say it because you were talking. I know the score was out of hand, 50-some, 55-0, whatever. I'm still going to punt the football in that situation. The odds of you making it aren't that good. You're going to give Martinsburg the short field, kick the ball away, let them drive the field instead of attempting to make that first down. Not a good situation.
Romer for the extra point, up and good. Martinsburg has scored in every facet now: offense, defense, special teams. 5:54 to play in the first half. It's 62-0 Martinsburg. We're back in 30 seconds.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
Martinsburg continues to put up the points. Again, they've done it offensively, scoring on each possession. They've done it on special teams with a 10-yard fumble recovery, and now this one, a roughly 39-yard fumble recovery as the defense puts points on the board. Ensuing kickoff coming down near the 20-yard line to the Washington return man, and I believe that's 18. It is. That's Ethan Cockrell, who will move it to about the 27, and that's where Washington will have it.
Alex Alabal again on the tackle, special teams. 2 in a row for him. 5:50 to go, first half, 62-0, and Martinsburg has scored, just about every way you could think, other than maybe a pass interception for a return. Well, I'll take that back. We've had an interception.
We've had the interception,
but he did not make.
Dorn Smith did not quite get to the end zone. 4 turnovers in this first half, 2 on special teams, and now 2 on that Washington offense. 1st and 10 from their own 27. Amore out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Takes that snap, throws to the far side. Catch is made on that screen by Terrence Jones. Fights his way forward out across the 35, taken down at the 36-yard line. That's a 9-yard gain.
That's the biggest production we've had thus far in this football game offensively for Washington, a big 9-yard pickup. 5:25 to go, first half, and 62-0 is our score. And it's just been Washington just being totally overmatched in this football game. There's no other way to put it. I'm not saying they're a bad football team. They're just overmatched. I mean, they're doing what they like to do, and they've won 2 football games and been in the other 2 doing what they're doing. It's just overmatched here tonight.
Bradbury in the shotgun along with Amore, both with the hands out, and the snap goes right off the hands of Bradbury. Football still loose back at the 25, and the Patriots fortunate that they were able to get on that loose football.
Yeah, they were very fortunate on that particular play.
Getting back to get it was Terrence Jones.
And it wasn't really a bad snap. It was like he wasn't ready for it.
And it just kind of went almost between the two of them, and it was Bradbury who got a hand on it. Goes back to the 26-yard line. That ends up being a loss of 10 yards.
As a matter of fact, I think we're still waiting on them to get their first down, aren't we?
We are. Yes, we are. Going to be another tough play here, 3rd down and 11. Snap going to Amore. Hold on, though. The play is blown dead, and it will be, it looks like, encroachment on Martinsburg. So +5 on that penalty, and the Dogs have now been penalized 3 times for 25 yards. Makes it a little more manageable, a 3rd down and 6 from their own 31. 4 minutes on a running first half clock, 62-0 Martinsburg.
You know, the thing about it is it's not like Martinsburg has just totally dominated them. There's been so many gifts here in this first half by Washington.
On 3rd down and medium, we'll call it. A receiver screen to the near side. Catch is made and able to get to the near sideline out beyond the 40 to the 41 is Jace Bradbury. Diving in to knock his feet out from underneath of him was Isaiah Carpenga. And he is a junior, goes 5'10", 145, as Martinsburg again blending in some of the younger players. That gain's good for 15 and their first down.
Yeah, first positive yards here we've had as a 15-yard pickup. 3 minutes, 25 seconds go in the first half. And nice round of applause by the Martinsburg fans there. And it was not sarcastic. I mean, I think it was an encouragement type of thing.
Yeah, nice play. They've had a 9-yard gain and now a 15-yard gain in this particular possession. Their 2 biggest plays of the first half, nearing 3 minutes left in the half. Snap goes back to Amore, running to his left, able to turn that corner, gets to the far sideline into Martinsburg territory and run down on that far side by Joshua Woodfork, the senior defensive back. The ball's down to the 44 of Martinsburg, 16 yards on the game.
And that was a situation where he did a nice job, just simply outran him to the corner. And they've done that quite a bit this year, but again, against this Martinsburg bunch, it's difficult to do with the speed that they have.
1st and 10, back-to-back first down plays of 15 and 16 yards. 2:30 as the clock winds here in quarter number 2, 62-0 Martinsburg. Washington with their best offensive possession, 7th time they've had the football in this first half. Awaiting that snap to come back, and it goes through the hands of Cockrell, and the loose ball picked up on the run by Bosley, coming to the near side, a stiff arm to get rid of one defender, gives up a little more ground, and Boyd no place to go. A sea of orange will snow him under inside the 30 at about the 28-yard line, and Cockrell remains down on the play and looks like he's holding that left elbow. He is kicking the feet, clearly in discomforts. Boy, that play went awry from the get-go. Now we'll check and see on the injury to the young man for Washington.
And that's one thing this team does not need is another injury. They've got about 5 or 6 guys who are walking wounded on the sideline as it is. What total of 27 players. They may be at maybe 22 right now.
That is a loss of 29 yards on that play as it goes all the way back to the Washington 28-yard line. The line of scrimmage had been the 44, so technically 28, not 29 yards, but still a lot of lost yardage on that one. They moved in at quarterback that time, Ethan Cockrell, and joining him in the backfield was Taylor Bosley, and that snap just a little bit high went through the hands of Cockrell, and a nice job by Bosley to pick it up, tried to find room here to the right. When he didn't find it, cut back to his left, and then was snowed under and injured on that play. Cockrell trying to come over and help make something happen.
Yeah, he's up and walking off on his own power here now, and that's really a good sign because he looked like he was in a really distressful situation with his, like it was his arm, his right arm. So he's up and about. You know, one of the things I'm looking at here, Matt, there's been one bad snap that, two bad snaps that were really bad. They were high, but the others were hard, a little bit high, and just extend your arm, but they were sharp. You as a quarterback, or if you're receiving that snap, you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
You know, not every snap's going to be perfect. I mean, guys in the NFL make millions of dollars. They make those snaps as well, poorly sometimes. So you've got to be prepared for that. And there's two or three of those snaps that should have been caught.
Oh, with the football all the way back at the 28-yard line. They can't get a first down until they get to the Martinsburg 34, so it is a second down and 38. Back to throw the football. Amore eludes a rusher in the backfield and then turns the corner to that far side, sprints out of bounds, and a late hit out of bounds at the end of the play as well. I gained 4 yards on that one, and then a Bulldog defender hitting him once he had gone out of bounds. And they'll tack on 15 more yards. 4 penalties now, 40 yards in this first half on the Bulldogs.
Well, that's one of the things you don't want to see. Someone getting hit late in a situation like that. That was just not having your head in the ball game. He was clearly out of bounds on that play.
So the football gets moved out to the 47, still in Washington territory. And it will bring up third down. Still 3rd and 19.
Second down, 20.
Well, they list second down. It's got to be third. That came at the end of the play, right? He was out of bounds. So they'll still say second down. So second and about 18, and that is Bradbury who takes that snap, fakes the handoff, and then turns the corner on the left side where Tanner Lucas, all 6'4", 380 pounds of him, is waiting and throws him down for no gain on the play.
Literally threw him.
Yeah. So now it will bring up the third down and about 19.
So apparently they must have given him the re-down on the late hit out of bounds, which to me was after the play was over.
That's what I was thinking.
Should have been a dead ball in the 15-yarder.
62-0 Martinsburg. 18 seconds and counting here in our first half. Washington will need to get off at least one more play. Let's see what happens. Snap is back. On the carry coming near side of Moray, able to turn that corner, getting into Bulldog territory, wrapped up and taken down. That's a 5'5" Camden Brittner. He's a senior who helps to make that tackle. They'll spot it at the, it looks like 48 in Martinsburg territory, and that gain good for just about 15.
Well, you know, the amazing part about it is as the time has run out.
I stand corrected. That gain good for roughly 13 yards. Time running out on the first half, and let's head down to Jason. He's got Coach Walker.
Coach, you guys dominated in every aspect there in the first half. Your thoughts on that?
We're doing what we're supposed to do. Our kids are making big plays, and I mean, it's obvious we're a physically, more dominant team.
Changes in the second half, maybe see some of the younger players?
Yeah, the ones are done. It'll be a JV game for us in the second half.
All right, good luck, Coach. We'll talk to you after the game. There you go, Matt. The second half's probably going to be more like a JV game.
And much of what we expected coming into this one, it has been all the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Well, we'll get into our halftime activities after we take this timeout. At the intermission here at Coburn Field, it's Martinsburg leading Washington 62-0. Hyman right now. They'll bring a man in motion. Will the Bulldogs give that little touch pass to Gerard Bowie? Turns the corner on that left side and down that far side.
J&P Service and Repair is the region's leader in tractor and agricultural equipment repair. And if you can't make it to them, they'll come to you with mobile service available. They also offer repair and maintenance for your light diesel truck. Now's the time to call J&P Service and Repair at 304-240-7379. Find out more online at jpservicerepair.com and check them out on Facebook. J&P Service and Repair, 2892 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg. Built on trust, founded on service.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation, a hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's Local Market.
Black Dogs on 3! 1, 2, 3, Black Dogs! Who let the dogs out?
It's time for today's halftime show. We'll recap the scoring, bring you first half stats and analysis, and check in on the action around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State with the out-of-town scoreboard. So let's return to the field and get things started with our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
School in Coburn Field, where we are at the half. It's homecoming, and the homecoming court being introduced to the crowd on hand. Joe Ferretti Law Office for a free consultation at 304-596-8854. Vic Martinsburg just taking charge in this football game very early as they took the opening possession, and on one play, 65 yards, a scoring strike as it was Elijah Banks getting that one. I say scoring strike is one of those little touch passes. Basically, it's a jet sweep where the touch pass goes to Gerard Bowie, and he turns the corner and away he goes, and then the ensuing kickoff, and it's fumbled and returned about 10 yards for a score by Malachi Brown. 14-0 Martinsburg, and we were only 24 seconds into this football game, and that really set the tone for the way it played out the rest of the half.
Yeah, it most certainly did. You know, the sad part about that is that Washington didn't do anything that they haven't done in the previous 4 games that they played. Is it's simply they have not come up against a defense, especially, or offense that they see here tonight. And I don't care how good you are. It's kind of like in other sports, like basketball. You can't teach height. Well, you can't teach speed either, and you can't teach the athletic ability that this Martinsburg team has. I mean, we were watching the snap of the ball, and gee whiz, the offensive line of Martinsburg is actually pushing Washington off the football, as we say, and running wherever they want to. And then the other side of the ball, when Washington had it, the Martinsburg defensive line was pushing their offensive line into the backfield, forcing them to run 5, 6, 7 yards deeper. And of course, now with the abilities that they have with the speed and athletic ability, and also having 3 guys out there on the corners who are all seniors who have been starters, makes it really, really difficult for them to muster up any offense at all.
7 first half possessions, 7 touchdowns for Martinsburg, add in a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown as well, and that leads to where we are at the intermission. All Martinsburg over Washington by a 62-0 score. We'll recap this first half, scoring highlights coming up, and we'll check in on what is happening around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and the Mountain State with our halftime scoreboard show. Standing by at the studio is Matt Crawford. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
He is the most interesting jeweler in the world. Celebrities ask for his autograph. When buying diamonds, experts ask him what they're worth. He once counted to infinity twice. He has his own astrological sign.
I may not sell every customer that comes into Bechtel Jewelers, but on the rare occasions when I don't, they often wish I had. Stay brilliant, my friends.
Welcome into the Halftime Scoreboard Show. Matt Crawford here with you in the Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 studios. A high-scoring half, but not sure was all that entertaining for that long. I'm not sure either team having a whole lot of fun playing out there, even if you're the Dogs. I'm not sure 62-0 in the way they're doing it is a whole lot of fun out there. I think it's one of those games where I don't want to say you're going through the motions, but the Dogs seem to be scoring in any way possible and at ease. And if you're Washington, you're just hoping to get out of this game healthy as you can possibly be. We've seen a couple of injuries, but nothing that looks too serious, which is good for the Washington Patriots. 62-0. Your halftime score. The Dogs out in front. In the first quarter, it was Gerard Bowie, a 65-yard end around that would give the Dogs a 7-0 lead. More of a touch pass end around, if you will, from 65 yards out, 7-0 at that point. That was on the first offensive play of the game. On the ensuing kickoff to Washington, Malachi Brown picked up a fumble return at 11 yards in for a Dog score, 14-0 at that point. Very early in the ball game. Elijah Banks would find Gerard Bowie this time, 14 yards out on the pass, 21-0. It would be 28-0 after a 10-yard touchdown run by Trey Sign, and then Naeem Kearney would add a rushing touchdown from 34 yards out, a 5-touchdown lead after one quarter of play, 35-0. In quarter number 2, Malachi Brown would catch a 17-yard pass from Elijah Banks, a 6-touchdown advantage at that point, 42-0. Then Elijah Banks from 12 yards out would find Teddy Marshall, make that 19 yards out, would find Teddy Marshall. Good job by Marshall going up and getting the football. Naeem Kearney would find the end zone again on the ground, this time from 18 yards out, 55-0 at that point, a mixed extra point. And then Jarvis Thurston, a 39-yard fumble recovery, would bring us to where we are at the half, 62-0. Now let's take a look at some of the highlights from half number 1.
Lineman right now. They'll bring a man in motion. Will the Bulldogs give that little touch pass to Gerard Bowie? Turns the corner on that left side and down that far sideline. There he goes. Good blocking out in front for Malachi Brown, and then just the speed of Gerard Bowie, who will take the opening play. 65 yards for a Bulldog score. From the Washington 14, Banks to throw over the middle, rifles one into the end zone, and a diving grab is made by Gerard Bowie, and he's got his second touchdown of this opening quarter.
We play in Martinsburg.
Elijah Banks handing this one off to Trey Sign. Started right, gets a cutback lane to his left, and he'll race into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Very nifty moves for Trey Sign.
We'll line up and just go ahead and kick it.
1st and 10 from the Washington 34. Give to Naeem Kearney. Turns the corner on this near side. Blocking downfield by Teddy Marshall. Also Gerard Bowie, and it springs him into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown at the 19-yard line. On 1st down, Banks fade into the back near corner of the end zone, and leaping up and making the grab is Teddy Marshall. He went high into the air, reached right over the top of Jacob Gockler, and pulls it in for the Bulldog score. Right man comes in motion. And they'll give a little underneath shovel pass instead to Naeem Kearney, who goes in for the score. They faked that handoff to Gerard Bowie, who came in motion from right to left, and instead Banks gave the little underneath shovel pass to Naeem Kearney, who out of the backfield had cut in behind Bowie, and the hole opened wide, and in for the score goes Naeem Kearney. He's got it, juggles it, loses it. It's down on the ground, and Martinsburg's going to have it. And it's Jarvis Thurston who picks it up, and he's going to head down the far sideline, and he'll go 39 yards for the score.
Sorry about that. A bit of a computer freeze trying to get back in. Again, there are your highlights from the first half. 62-0 your halftime score. Some other games going on around the Eastern Panhandle. We will check in on those, and all the AAA scores from around the Mountain State when we come back after this 1-minute timeout. 62-0. Martinsburg over Washington at the half. This is the Halftime Scoreboard Show. You're watching and listening to West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef's special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Welcome back into the Halftime Scoreboard Show. Matt Crawford here with you in the Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10 studios. Again, our score at the half, Martinsburg all over Washington, 62-0. Let's start with other EPAC games going on tonight. Musselman hosting Morgantown, 14-0 Musselman at the half there. Morgantown has a 1-4 record coming in, while Musselman has a 4-1, so you would expect the 1-4 Morgantown Mohegans to be down by more than 14, but that is a rivalry game, and you never know what's going to happen with those two teams. Again, at the half, 14-0 Musselman in Inwood. Fort Hill taking on Hedgesville tonight at Hedgesville. Hedgesville getting shut out 36-0 to the Maryland single-A power Fort Hill. Again, that game at the half as well. And at the half, the only other game going on tonight with Spring Mills on a bye is Jefferson welcoming Dominion to Shenandoah Junction, and at the half, 7-0. So looking at it now, all shutouts in the first half, 62-0 our score, Martinsburg over Washington. At the half, it's Musselman 14-0 over Morgantown, Fort Hill up 36-0 over Hedgesville, and Jefferson up 7-0 over Dominion. Shutouts across the board in the first half and splitting pretty much right now in the Eastern Panhandle. Let's take a look at scores around AAA as well. Cabell Midland up 35-0 over Riverside at the half. AA Kaiser all over AAA Hampshire 36-0 at the half. 7-7 between Parkersburg South and Huntington. That game last updated in the first quarter, so I may have seen some movement, just not updated since quarter number 1. Spring Valley 2-touchdown lead over Capital 14-0. A 0-0 tie between GW and Hurricane in the second quarter. Albert Gallatin, Pennsylvania, 13-0 lead over University at the half. John Marshall up 21-0 over Buchanan Upshur at the half. Indian Creek, Ohio over Brook 29-0 at the half. Grand Virginia up 14-0 over Princeton at the half. And Ripley up 21-0 over St. Alban at the half. So let's look at this real quick. Just scrolling down the scores right now in AAA, there is one game that is not a shutout at the half, and that is Parkersburg South and Huntington, and that is a 14-7 game. That is incredible. Out of all the AAA games going on around the Mountain State right now, at the half, make that 2. John Marshall and Buchanan Upshur now at the half. That score just updating 27-7. John Marshall in the lead there, but still just 2 games that aren't a shutout across AAA right now in the Mountain State. We'll give AA and single A scores in the Extra Point post-game show coming up, and then we're going to join Washington Nationals baseball in progress Game 2 of the series against the Dodgers in the 2019 MLB postseason. Again, real quick, the final from last night in college football, 62-28, with Shepherd's win on the road against Lock Haven, and Texas will be at WVU tomorrow. That's what's going on in college football. And again, a preview of what's coming up in the Extra Point post-game show. Then later on WRNR tonight, the Nationals will take on the Dodgers in Game 2. All right, that is going to wrap up the halftime scoreboard show. We're going to send it out to Matt, Vic, and Jason for the second half in just a few minutes. Again, we'll have finals from around the state and highlights from the second half in the Extra Point postgame show. 62-0 Martinsburg over Washington at the half. We'll send it back out there next. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
Back into Coburn Field along with Vic Holmes. I'm Matt Miller. Thanks to Matt Crawford at the studio. Jason Colrick is down on the sideline. Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick running cameras. Our on-site producer is Ash Gurry. Our Joe Ferretti Law Office halftime show continues as we look at some numbers from the first half. Brought to you by Dobson and Associates, PLLC, providing all of your back office needs, including accounting, payroll, and human resources. They want to be your back office. Call 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. Vic, let's start with the Bulldog defense, because Washington in the first half had 7 offensive possessions. They punted 4 times, turned it over twice with an interception and a fumble, and then, took the ball into the locker room at the half. Just 2 first downs in that first half, 1 of 8 on third down conversions, 0 of 1 on fourth down. That was the fumble scooped up by Jarvis Thurston and returned about 39 yards for a score. The good news, no penalties in the first half for Washington. Individually, starting quarterback Frankie Amore, 12 carries for 14 yards, throwing the football 3 of 4 for 28 yards. 7 carries for 7 yards for Jace Bradbury. 2 carries, minus 6 yards, going for Terrence Jones. I've got 2 carries, minus 38 yards that go against the team as a result of bad snaps, not so much a player in particular with the ball in hand, maybe scooping it up and taking that loss. And so a couple of bad snaps leading to some big-time losses. Receiving the football, 1 catch for Dylan Painter. That covered 4 yards, a grab for 15 yards for Bradbury, and a catch for 9 yards for Terrence Jones. Let's turn to the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Let me give you the finals, or the totals. My apologies for Washington. 27 plays, 28 passing yards, minus 25 rushing yards, so just 3 total yards on 27 plays for Washington in the first half.
Well, it has been that dominant. Martinsburg has really just dominated the line of scrimmage, which took care of everything else. You know, the offensive line of Martinsburg basically knocked them off the football, and then the defensive front, those guys were deep into the backfield, which disrupted their whole offense. I mean, this team can do well with this offense against normal teams. This is not a normal team, and they just simply dominated up front, which caused them to lose so much yardage. And also the bad snaps. That comes from knowing that you got to block this guy that you haven't blocked all night long, and he's in the gap. Means you got to get to your left or to your right, and that's what causes those types of things.
Let's turn to that Martinsburg team now. 7 first-half possessions and 7 touchdowns, 11 first downs, 4 penalties for 40 yards. The Bulldogs faced third down only once, and they converted a 16-yard touchdown pass. 15 plays, 285 total yards, 102 rushing, 183 passing. Banks, 8 of 11 for those 183 yards and 5 touchdown passes. Gerard Bowie, 2 catches, 79 yards, 2 of those scores. Malachi Brown, 2 catches, 20 yards and a touchdown. Teddy Marshall, 2 grabs, 41 yards and a score. Anthony Smith had a catch for 25 yards, and Naeem Kearney, a shovel pass reception that went 18 yards for a score. Kearney, 2 carries for 40 yards as a running back, including a 34-yard touchdown. 1 carry, 10 yards and a score for Trey Sign. A carry for 18 yards for Gerard Bowie, and a carry for 30 yards for Anthony Smith. And no one will forget the carry for 1 yard for Matthew Bednarski.
Showed some good speed on that one.
He did. Some nifty footwork and a little stiff arm there, I believe, as a part of that as well, if I recall correctly.
You know, Matt, if you take a look at, we go back to last week, and how many penalties did Martinsburg have last week at Hedgesville? I think it was like 14, was it?
Not quite high enough. 16.
I'm sorry, 16.
For 158 yards.
16 penalties, and tonight they have, 3? And
4 at the half.
4. And 2 of those were late hits by backup players. So it just goes to show you, you get your mind in the ball game and concentrate and keep your mind in the ball game. I think last week was just something a little bit different when we're dealing with that atmosphere going on at that football game.
Well, our first half stats brought to you by Dobson and Associates PLLC, providing accounting, payroll, bill pay, human resources, and IT services. They want to be your back office. Stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg, or phone 304-264-0437. That'll wrap up our Joe Ferretti Law Office halftime show. For a free consultation with the Joe Ferretti Law Office, phone 304-596-8854. Well, let's check in with Jason down on the sideline before we get this second half started. Sideline reports the service of Mike Folk for Governor. Jason.
Matt, like Coach said here, in the second half, you'll probably see the starters possibly for the first series. After that, it'll be a JV game. I was trying to listen in to see if they were going to reduce the quarters. Sometimes when there's a game like this, they'll reduce it to 8-minute quarters in the second half, but I couldn't get that information before you came down to me.
That's all right. We will look at that scoreboard and see what's going to happen. Getting a little chilly out there from what we understand, especially with that breeze that is blowing.
Yeah, it is. It's actually quite chilly with that breeze. You get rid of the breeze and it's not overly bad, but that breeze is definitely making it quite chilly down here.
We are waiting to get our second half of action underway. Looks like the clock has stopped at 7.2 seconds, has not counted all the way down to 0, and I think now we're going to get captains that will meet at midfield as a couple of players. That's Bradbury along with Amore coming out for Washington. Gerard Bowie will go out to represent Martinsburg. The Bulldogs got the ball to start the game, so that means Washington will take it to start the second half. Our second half kickoff brought to you by Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. For all of your automotive repair needs, call the certified mechanics at Bears Repair at 304-262-0208. Martinsburg looking to push the winning streak to 48 straight over the last 4 years. Currently second in the nation. Caledonia, Minnesota right now leading the country with a 59-game winning streak. Then comes Martinsburg's streak right now at 47, looking to make it 48 with the win tonight. Hanover, Kansas is third at 42. And then Carl Albert, Oklahoma at 40. And Garden City, New York, 39 straight wins according to Max Preps. Those are the 5 longest active winning streaks right now in high school football. Amazing when you think about that.
It is. It's mind-blowing. It really is. I mean, first of all, to win that many games, and then you're in the category of being one of the top, number 2 in the nation with your win streak. I don't care what state you're in, what classification you're in. It doesn't matter. You win that many ball games, you really done something really, really well, something special.
Well, right now they've put 6 minutes on the clock to start this third quarter. Martinsburg will kick off, and it looks like it will be Duffy who will do the kicking. That's Sam Duffy. So apparently we will have the shortened quarters, and those quarters will be down to just 6 minutes. No running clock in the state of West Virginia until that fourth quarter. Sam Duffy marking off those steps, and now we'll get ready to get our second half underway. He approaches. There is that kick. Nice deep end-over-end kick. That's going to be Bradbury. Can't handle it at the 5. Football's loose, rolling across the turf inside of the 10, and a player for Washington diving on it, and then a Bulldog coming in late, and we'll have an unnecessary roughness call on Martinsburg. Getting on that loose ball. Waiting for him to turn. Can't tell if that's an 18. Nope, it is a 19, and that would be Austin Sharp, a sophomore who was able to get on that loose football.
Well, I think it's a 15-yard penalty for hitting him after he was down, but that was just a reactionary thing. That's not a bad penalty there. He actually recovered the football, went down on his knees, and got back up and started to take off. It's just a natural reaction that you see a guy taking off and running, that you try to tackle him. So 5 minutes, 54 seconds. This is going to be a quick quarter.
First down and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Bradbury in the backfield along with Amore as the 2 will stand hands out, waiting to see who gets that snap. It will go to Amore, trying to find some running room to the near side. Oh, there will be none. He is very quickly grabbed and driven backwards. Nice play. Hudson Clement to really wrap him up. Got some help from several Bulldog defenders, and they'll mark progress back at the 16-yard line, -6.
Now we're talking, folks, we're talking now second-team guys. We're talking about JV players from Martinsburg out there on the field now, and we just saw another good play. Just speed again, getting to the corner and cutting that runner off, trying to get around the corner.
Jason sent me the text. Caledonia's next 3 opponents are weak, he says, so their win streak will continue, it looks like. On a second down and close to 16, straight ahead running for the quarterback. Gain of maybe a yard or 2, certainly no more than that.
Tackle made there, looked like Tehil Bowers, I believe, made that tackle. So got a lot of new guys in the football game. Cameron Irving's also up there, defensive tackle.
There's Amore picking up, it looks like 2 yards as they'll set it down at the 18. So third down, about 14 yards to go for a first in that first half. Just 1 of 8 on those third down conversion attempts.
Christian Slack out there.
Morey out of the gun, taking that snap, rolling to that far side. Bradbury going to be a lead blocker. Getting a block out there on that outside as well from Colton Childress, allowing him to get to the 25-yard line, but that was it, as Morey is able to pick up just about 7 yards, half of what he needed, and it will bring up a 4th and 7. 14 carries, make it 15 carries, 17 yards for Amore. That has been it. And from their own 25-yard line, it looks like Washington will go for it on a 4th and 7.
Well, now they're sending in about 6 new guys. I was about to say, I questioned that in the first half, and all right, the score 62-0. Going for it here is not going to help you. Not going for it is not going to help you either, but this is the practical thing to do.
Well, if nothing else helps you to work on things that you'll need for next week, well, and now you may change your mind, as we had a Martinsburg player that apparently lined up in the neutral zone, so plus 5 yards, going to mean 6 penalties, 60 yards now on Martinsburg. And Washington may want to rethink this. It'll become a 4th down and 2 from their own 30.
Now they will rethink it, and I think they're going to go for it here.
Yep, they are going to line up to go for it. Bradbury in the backfield has it back to his right side, so Bradbury is going to be the quarterback, and he's going to keep it off that right side. He's going to go down just about the 31-yard line, maybe the 32, and he's very, very close.
I think he may have it. I think he will have it. This one I did not mind, and because it was that close, and they've got the first team in there against the basically the JV squad, that one's okay. Had it been 7 yards or whatever, no, you got to punt it away.
It was a gain of 3 as they set it down out close to that 33-yard line. So a 1st down and 10, just the 3rd first down of the night for Washington. Now 1 of 2 on 4th down conversions, and with just 6 minutes on that clock to start the 3rd quarter, we're already down to 3:43 remaining in the 3rd. 62-0 all Martinsburg in this one. On 1st down, Bradbury and Amore both in the backfield. They take that shotgun snap, and it's the end around give to Jones, looking for running room to the near side. Little cutback lane, hit and slammed down at the 45-yard line. Nice defensive hit.
Randy Long, number 30 on the tackle. Good hit that time. That was a good pickup that time for Washington. One of the few on the reverse out of the wing formation. 3 minutes, 36 seconds on the running clock.
Terrence Jones able to pick up 12 yards and a 1st down as it goes out to the 45-yard line. That may be a candidate for our Cody's Body Shop collision of the game. That's big hits. Single quarterback this time will be Bradbury. He faked the handoff and then ran up the gut and ran right into his own man. And that's a freshman offensive lineman, Zach Wharton, who was out there. And Wharton got hit by his own man, as it was a nice job by Bradbury just to pick up what he could, which was a gain of about a yard.
Good contact there. Nolan Kaufman, the tackle, 6'1", 270-pound junior. 2 minutes, 50 seconds go in the 3rd quarter. Again, we started with a 6-minute quarter here. 62-0, Martinsburg leads it.
If Washington could get another 1st down, they would keep the ball this entire 3rd quarter. Out of the shotgun, taking that snap, Bradbury gives an inside handoff to Frankie Amore. He's able to get outside the numbers on that right side, dragged down from behind on that far side of the field by, it looks like, Aiden Kreider, a 46, helping to make that stop in Martinsburg territory down to the 42-yard line.
Well, their reverse works pretty well out of this formation. That's been their best offensive play. They've run it about 3 times, and all 3 times they've done really, really a good job with it. And they attempted it against the starters. Didn't work very well because of the speed out there in the corners.
Another 12-yard gain, 2 of them in this possession. Their 3rd 1st down of the possession. 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 42 as the clock winds under 2 minutes in the 3rd. Out of the shotgun, back to his left side. Amore is going to take that direct snap, wanting to run here to this left side. Grabbed and, oh boy, hit hard at the end of that play as Kai Walker put the big hit on him after it looked like 46 Aiden Kreider helped to get him by the back of the jersey.
Nice job that time. These guys run to the ball pretty well. Again, we're talking basically the JV squad. Minute 20 to go, third quarter.
Second down and 11 coming now from the Martinsburg 43. This will be the 9th play of this possession to open the second half. 62-0 Martinsburg out in front. Bradbury taking the snap, running to his right. Met and very quickly brought down on the play. A number of Bulldog defensive front guys helping to make that stop. Mark it at the 41-yard line after a 2-yard gain.
Justin Petrie on the tackle for Martinsburg. So very quick quarter here. It's amazing. Martinsburg leading 62-0. We're down to 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and they haven't touched the ball offensively.
We had a Bulldog, Justin Petrie, started to come off, and Coach Steve Roach, the former Bulldog offensive and defensive lineman who went to Penn State, now coaching, says, hey, get back in there. Here we go on a third down and roughly 9 yards to go for a first. Snap back to Bradbury, looks for running room left side, and he'll gain, well, maybe a yard. Give him 2 down to the 39-yard line. Stood up on that play and taken down. Nolan Kaufman helping to make that stop on the final play of quarter number 3. We'll be back with your fourth quarter of action from here at Coburn Field after this timeout with Martinsburg leading Washington 62-0.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Back for quarter number 4. Don't go away. You'll miss it. 6 minutes left, and this will now be a running clock.
We're starting the fourth quarter here at a running clock, and Martinsburg has not touched the ball offensively.
Chance to get it here. 4th down and 7 for Washington from that Bulldog 39-yard line to open quarter number 4. Amore to throw. Catch made near side, and a great tackle after the receiver, Terrence Jones, hauled it in and looked to turn the corner on this near side, and a diving stop by Isaiah Carpegna.
That was just a good open field tackle. So Martinsburg will get their first offensive series here, which is going to be, the JV squad here will get the football at their own 39-yard line. 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the running clock. And 40-23, Hedgesville 6.
See what Martinsburg's JV offense can do. 5:20 in this one as they take over at their own 39. A first down and 10 carry, and a no gain on the play for the ball carrier. That is 50. Isaiah Salinas listed as a linebacker, getting a chance to play some running back in this one as well. He loses a yard actually as they set it down back at the 38. So 2nd and 11 coming. Snap goes back, and the handoff to the tailback, and on this carry going to be Rafael Taylor Parati. Parati will get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. Third down and 11 coming for Martinsburg from their own 38. Martinsburg faced only one third down in that first half. Face a 3rd and 11 here. The Bulldog quarterback, Peyton Curry. Curry out of the gun with a back to his left side. Takes the snap and hands it off. Parati turning the corner on that far side, gets out close to the sticks. It'll all depend on the spot as he goes down at about the 49-yard line.
I think he's going to have it.
I think he is as well. Fleetwood White helping to make that tackle, and Parati will get 11 yards and a Bulldog first down. So it'll give him a chance to keep working with the football as the clock continues to wind in this one, down to 3:30 and counting. Curry came to the near sideline, has the play call. We'll now head back out there. Martinsburg looking to make it 59 wins in a row here at home against West Virginia opponents, and their 31st in the regular season. Last regular season loss here at home against a West Virginia opponent, Jefferson, in 2007. On first down from their own 49, a gain of close to 2 yards on that carry. Waiting to see who comes out of the bottom of the pile, and that is number 10. That's Braxton Todd. So some different guys getting a chance to carry the football for Martinsburg. We've seen Todd once before get a few carries. We've seen Parati before as well. Curry also. 2nd down and 8 coming from the 49 of Washington. Inside of 2 minutes and 40 seconds on a running fourth quarter clock. Curry out of the gun, fakes the handoff, keeps it, slips a tackle, coming near side, stops, cuts back to his right, finds a little opening to the 40, hit from behind, and goes down at the 39-yard line. Some nifty running before Jace Bradbury eventually able to wrap him up.
It was a nice run there. I tell you, he did a good job of just trying to find some open space there. Down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the football game, and I'll tell you what, David Walker's done a great job, I think, when I'm talking about his coaching, just being the person that he is and what he could be doing in this football game. And there are a few people that I wouldn't want in this position because I know they would run the score up.
Curry out of the gun, taking that shotgun snap. He fakes the handoff, looks far side, now loses the football. There's a scramble for it at the 41-yard line, and we'll wait and see who got on top of it. Looked like he was going to throw to the far side and then turned back to the near side, lost the football. It bounced around a little bit. And they're having a hard time getting the last two guys up off the bottom of the pile. Curry is there, but now the guy that it looks like recovered that one.
Well, nobody's in any big hurry, and the clock is still running with 1:15 to go. So,
well, and my apologies, I did not get who came off of the bottom of the pile with that one.
I did not see it either. Could not tell.
I'll check with Jason, see if he has any idea, as the ball will belong to Washington on the Bulldogs' first turnover of the night with 1:05 remaining and now under a minute remaining in this one. Out of the gun. Looks to be Bradbury. No, that is Amore who takes the snap, looks for room to his left, gets hit and quickly brought down. Tell you, Carpegna looks pretty good. Isaiah's made a couple, if not more than a couple tackles in this one.
And that was a nice open field tackle.
Loss of 2 yards.
Could be our last play of the game. 30 seconds remaining in the football game on the non-stop clock. They
will line up, and it looks like Washington will try to get one more play in there. 2nd down and 12 from their own 39. On the carry, Bradbury, he's going to pick up just about 4 yards out to that 43, and now that will be the final play of this one as the clock winds down. 3, 2, 1, and it's official. Martinsburg 6-0 on the season, picking up their 48th consecutive victory, their 31st straight win at home in the regular season against a West Virginia opponent, and 59th consecutive victory at home against a West Virginia opponent. opponent. Martinsburg with the win by a final of 62-0. We'll come back and tell you about it as we get into our post-game show. This is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com. Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Black dogs on 3! 1, 2, 3, black dogs! Who let the dogs out?
Coming up next, we've got complete game stats and analysis. We'll recap the scoring, name our offensive and defensive players of the game, and take a look ahead to our next broadcast. All on the postgame show. So let's get started and head back to the stadium to rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
I'm Matt Miller. Jason Colrick on the sideline. We'll check in with him in just a moment. Matt Crawford at the studio. Zach Van Meter, Eric Sterick running cameras. Our on-site producer, Ash Gurry. High school football on this Friday night. All Martinsburg getting the win against Washington by a 62-0 final. Vic, you're not going to see a faster second half. The two teams combined in the second half to run 19 plays for 56 total yards as we played 6-minute quarters and the running clock in that fourth quarter as Martinsburg led 62-0 at the half, and that is the final. Well, they have broken the team huddle. Let's send it down. Jason has Coach Walker.
Hey, Matt, we're going to make this quick. Coach says he's cold. Coach, you said at the beginning of the game you were looking forward to this weather. A little different now, huh?
I should put another layer on. I've got plenty of insulation, but I need another layer. But, no, it feels really good. But it's I'm happy for our guys, and, I'm happy to be where we're at right now.
Coach, you guys pretty much dominated that first half. Talk to me about your offense.
Well, Elijah threw the ball well. Our playmakers, make plays, and we played pretty well, I think, up front as well. So, when you're out, Matt, when you're that much better than somebody, that's what you're supposed to do. So our kids took care of business. I wanted them to take care of it early. They did, and and we just got to focus on getting better.
You guys shortened the quarters to 6 minutes in the second half. Is that the shortest second half that you ever played, one possession?
Yeah, I think we ran less than. I don't think we ran an offensive play in the third quarter, and just a few in the fourth. So, but by that time, I just wanted to get it over with and get out of here healthy, and I know they wanted it over with as well.
Were you able to get out of here healthy so that you guys can continue on with all your players?
Yeah, I think we're pretty healthy.
Coach, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Good job tonight, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Coach did actually request that we have a quick interview there, so that's why it was so short.
Hey, great job. Good to hear from the coach. Good to hear from Jason on the sideline after Martinsburg getting the victory. Let's hear now from our head coach, Vic Holmes. Vic, you're not going to believe it. Are you ready for this? 21 offensive plays, all that the Martinsburg Bulldogs ran tonight. 15 in the first half and tallied 285 yards on those 15 plays. And in the second half, that JV unit ran 6 plays and tallied up 20 more yards. So 21 plays for 305 yards tonight. We'll have more numbers later, but that one just jumped out at me.
Well, it just sounds like, well, they must have dominated the football on the other side, but they didn't. It's just a simple fact of the short second half, and, of course, the scoring was very quick and didn't take very many plays, period. But, you know, I'm really glad to see that the score 62-0, that people with some good common sense did what they did. You know, basically cut the quarters in half, and Coach Walker played his JV kids the second half of the football game. Good sportsmanship on his behalf, and, you know, those kind of things go a long ways.
We'll come back and run some numbers as we continue on our post-game show. It's brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. They feature a full lunch and dinner menu with daily evening specials from 5 to 9, served in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the full menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Back with the numbers from this one after this timeout. Martinsburg shutting out Washington tonight 62-0.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Total yards, minus 25 rushing and 28 passing. In the second half, they ran 13 plays and tallied 36 additional yards, closing out the game with 40 plays for 39 yards, 11 rushing yards, and 28 passing yards. They finished with 9 possessions, and in that first half, they punted 4 times. They did not punt in the second half as they turned it over on downs, and they took the football into the locker room both at the half and at the end of the game. They did have a couple of offensive turnovers and as well a couple of special teams turnovers in this one as Martinsburg, Vic, found ways to score in every facet of the game.
Well, they did, and it was just total dominance. There wasn't a spot on the football field where Washington had an advantage. Martinsburg just simply up front, the offensive line, defensive lines, they just simply dominated the line of scrimmage. You know, the guys out on the wings, the wide receivers, just basically only threw maybe 1 or 2 somewhat deep patterns, nothing real deep. They didn't really have to, and Washington was going to do their very best to keep you from getting that. They were playing so far off. That's why they threw so many short bubble screens and things of that nature. Get the hands on the football of the guys who can run with it, which are their wide receivers. You know, the offensive backs, you know, those guys probably are ready to run because they didn't get a chance to run tonight. So at least they got to save some energy or whatever. But just, again, total dominance. And, you know, I tell you what, just watching Washington's team, I can understand why they have a couple wins. Mm-hmm. They're very determined. They know what they want to do. You're going to have to stop them. And, of course, obviously they got stopped tonight. But that's their offense. That's what they do. Yep. And they stuck with it. And, you know, they're going to win a couple more ball games before the season's over.
Yeah, I think so as well. For Washington, just 1 of 10 on third down conversions, 1 of 3 on fourth down conversions, and not a single penalty on the Washington Patriots in this game, none in the first half and none in the second half. Individually, Frankie Amore, 18 carries, 26 yards. He went 4 of 5 passing and threw for 28 yards. 12 carries, 19 yards for Jace Bradbury, and 3 carries for 6 yards for Terrence Jones. Jones had a couple of grabs in this ball game as well, as in that first half he had a catch for 9, added a catch in the second half, but only got back to the line of scrimmage. Let's turn to the Martinsburg Bulldogs, who in the first half ran 15 plays for 285 yards. In the second half, 6 plays, 20 yards. They ran 21 plays of offense in this game for 305 yards, 122 rushing, 183 passing. They faced a third down only twice tonight and converted on both of those. I had the Bulldogs upwards of 13 first downs. Martinsburg, hit with some penalties, 6 penalties for 60 yards in this one, and in the end the Bulldogs do fumble on that last possession, recovered by Washington, so 1 Martinsburg turnover. All of the starters wrap things up in that first half, and so a big night for Elijah Banks. 8 of 11, 183 yards, 5 touchdown passes in that first half. A couple of grabs, 79 yards, and 2 scores for Gerard Bowie. 2 catches, 20 yards, and a touchdown for Malachi Brown. 2 catches, 41 yards, and a score for Teddy Marshall, and a catch for 18 yards and a touchdown as well for Naeem Kearney. Kearney really the ground leader, 2 carries for 40 yards, including a 34-yard touchdown run in the second half. A couple of carries for the backup quarterback, as Peyton Curry had 2 carries for 8 yards, a carry for 2 yards as well for Braxton Todd, 2 carries, 11 yards for Rafael Taylor Parati, and we had a carry for minus a yard, it looked like, for Isaiah Salinas. So there you go, just some of the numbers from this one. The biggest number of all, well, that number on the scoreboard, as Martinsburg gets the 62-0 win, improving to 6-0 on the season. Final stats brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals who not only have the solutions to meet your needs, but local monitoring too. Learn more by calling Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. All right, let's get ready, send it back to the studio. We'll take one more break, and then when we come back, hey, we still got to name our collision of the game, our electrifying play of the game, our top dog player of the game, and we'll set you up for what comes next for both of these teams and our next broadcast. All of that as we wrap up the postgame show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Final score tonight from Coburn Field, Martinsburg over Washington, 62-0.
For great food and a comfortable atmosphere, come to the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard, featuring the breakfast menu served all day, every day, and weeknight specials from 5 to 9. Monday is burger night, a quarter-pound all-beef patty for $1.50, and fresh wings. Tuesday night is prime rib night, just $14.99, and spaghetti for $8.99. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday, half a pound of steamed shrimp, just $9.99. Friday and Saturday, the chef's special from 5 until 10, and Sunday is wings and tacos. That's the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
First impressions count, and your sign is your signature. Davis Designs is locally owned and locally operated with a legacy that spans over 30 years. Davis Designs is your one-stop shop for custom handcrafted signs, banners, vehicle lettering, design services, and vehicle wraps. Everything from temporary signs to hand-painted gold leafs. Go see Tom for anything from mild to wild. Call 304-267-7807. Follow them on Facebook at Davis Designs, or stop by at 1404 New York Avenue in Martinsburg. Create your design today.
When you're hurting, we're here. When things are confusing, we're here. When you need us.
If you have been injured in an auto accident or due to someone's negligence and you want to know what your rights are, call Ferretti Law Office at 264-8505 to discuss your claim for free. Attorney Joe Ferretti is prepared to answer your questions and explain your options. Put Joe Ferretti's legal experience and history of proven results in your corner to fight the bullies from the insurance companies. At Ferretti Law Office, we're here to help you win.
The electrifying play of the game, a service of Orsini's Appliance in Martinsburg. There were a lot of big plays for Martinsburg as they scored very quickly and very often in this game, but you like score number one.
I do. I like the first offensive play, the shuffle pass to Gerard Bowie, takes it 65 yards for a touchdown. I mean, that set the tone. You're 13 seconds into the game, and Martinsburg's up 7-0 with the extra point by Catlett.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic, I'm sure you're in agreement.
Oh, definitely. I tell you, that set the tone, and it was like Washington, it was downhill from there on.
Yep, the electrifying play of the game, a service of Orsini's Appliance in Martinsburg, offering top names in kitchen and laundry appliances like Amana, Maytag, Genair, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool, and for you grill masters like our own Jason Colrick, Traeger wood-fired grills. Find out more online at Orsinis.com. Okay, we got that one. Now the collision of the game, and you're going on the ensuing kickoff right after that first score.
I am. I mean, again, we're talking about setting the tone. 10 seconds later on the kickoff, there's a huge collision, causes a fumble, and Martinsburg picks that up and goes running into the end zone. And I don't remember who actually made that hit.
Malachi Brown, I know, made the scoop and the score, but I'm with you. I didn't see who made the initial contact.
All I do know is I was down there. It was a hard hit that jumbled the ball free, and now you're 23 seconds into this game, and Martinsburg's up 14-0. They go on to a 35-0 first quarter, 62-0 halftime. That set the tone early, and then with Washington wanting to just try to run the ball, I mean, I think that is definitely, for me, the collision of the game.
I think so also. I think it was a great play. And also, I want to throw in another one. Probably most people did not see. You'll have to go back on the film to check this one. Anthony Smith threw a tremendous block on the interception. The first pass that Washington attempted that was intercepted. He threw a tremendous block. I was worried there he might get a crackback flag on him, but just a great block, which freed him right there on the at the interception and then made the run back. But both of those are definitely in line for the winner tonight.
There you go. A pair of collisions in this game brought to you by Cody's Body Shop, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, Cody's offers superior customer service at a great price and performed by experienced certified technicians. Find them online at codysauto.com. That's COTYS auto.com, or phone 304-901-4777. One more. It's the top dog player of the game, a service of Julie's Canine Academy, and this one's a little more difficult on a night when the ball got spread around so much.
Well, spread around basically by one guy, Elijah Banks. He did the spreading. I mean, he threw 5 touchdowns. I don't think there's too much as far as we can. Second place is far behind, I think, on this one.
Yeah, I agree as well. Elijah Banks with another very solid effort tonight, our top dog player of the game. Again, brought to you by Julie's Canine Academy. If you're struggling with your dog or simply want your dog to learn basic obedience, Julie's Canine Academy can help. They work with any dog, any breed, any problem. Find out more at JuliesK9Academy.com or check them out on Facebook. All right, Martinsburg 6-0 on the season for the Washington Patriots. They fall to 2-3. Next up for the Patriots, they're at Frankfort. Going to be another tough game against a very good AA school. Then at Preston, a very winnable game for this Washington team. Then they're back home against Musselman. That'll be another very difficult one. At Hampshire, which becomes a winnable game, and hosting Jefferson in that Jefferson County battle to close out the season. There's a chance for this team to pick up another couple to 3 wins.
I think they actually have a possible chance of making the playoffs. I mean, sounds far-fetched. I mean, you come in here and get beat 62-0 virtually in the first half, but you start looking at these other teams, they don't get anyone hurt. They got a possible chance of winning about 4 more of those ball games. I really think so. I think it's going to be close, and if it may just boil down to the last game of the season with Jefferson.
Yeah, it very well could.
And I'd actually like to see that for this team. I mean, they've struggled for so many years, 0-10, 0-10, 1-9. It would be nice to see them get that extra week of practice, maybe build some excitement around their program, get some more kids. I mean, it's a big school, and to see that they've only got 27 to 30 kids on that sideline, you get some winning, it gets contagious. Kids want to come out and be a part of that, and maybe over the next couple of years they're able to put themselves in a more competitive position in games like this, and maybe we're talking about them being more competitive against the Musselmans. But looking at their schedule, they 5-5 probably get you in AAA, and they've got a real shot at it. And again, I'm one of those, I'd love to see as many teams from the Eastern Panhandle succeed because it builds their program.
Yep, absolutely. And Glenn Simpson has been telling us for the last couple of years, we're making deposits. He kept referring to it like you'd refer to a banking situation. We're making deposits, football deposits. We're learning, we're growing, we're making mistakes, but we're picking it up. And now this year, I asked him after that win against Hedgesville in Game 1, said, Coach, are you making a couple withdrawals? And he smiled and said, we're going to make a few withdrawals this year. And you can see that in this game today, even though the final is what it is. It's a team that comes out and plays hard. They're never going to give in. They're never going to come out and be scared of an opponent. They're going to give this coaching staff everything they have, and we'll see if they can have some more success as this year plays on.
And one thing that I did like, they stayed within themselves. They didn't get rowdy. It didn't get ugly or anything of that nature. I thought they played hard. They played as well as they possibly could have, and they stayed with their game plan. And that was something that's good, because that's going to benefit them not only this week, but next week, and the week after, and the week after. They stayed with what they wanted to do. They stayed with that offense. They stayed with their defense. And, personally, it's hard to measure playing in Martinsburg, but I still think, and I'm be one of the first to say it, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I really do.
Well, there you go. Let's turn to the Martinsburg Bulldogs, who next week have another EPAC opponent, and again, right back here at Coburn Field, as Martinsburg will welcome in the Spring Mills Cardinals. Spring Mills on a bye this week, and comes at a very good time. They have been so banged up offensively, losing their quarterback, Keon Padmore Johnson, before the season ever started. 3 different running backs have gone down to injury. Each week when we talk with head coach Chad Williams, he says, I haven't played the same 5 offensive linemen in a game yet this season, and that offense shut out last week in a loss going into the bye week, and so going to be a tough one. They've got a little extra time to prepare, and I'm sure maybe even here watching this one tonight.
Well, I'm sure they were here watching tonight. It's going to be another situation where Martinsburg can pretty much do whatever they want to, offensively and defensively, and as we say every week, they come and they do what they do, and that's that good. And if you're that good, you do what you do, and that's all that needs to be done. Thing is, we haven't seen any drop-offs. We haven't seen any letdowns from Martinsburg. Yeah. The only problem I see in the last couple weeks have been a few too many penalties, and tonight it wasn't too bad. 3 of those penalties that they had tonight were backup guys, the second team or whatever. But other than that, consistency in their play has been excellent.
So Martinsburg with the win tonight, 6-0 on the season, looking to make it 7-0 next week when they host Spring Mills. Game time at 7, pregame at 6, Miller time at 5, right here on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10. Oh, well, don't go away. Matt Crawford standing by at the studio with our Extra Point post-game scoreboard show. He'll tell us what else is going on around the EPAC and the Mountain State and bring you highlights from tonight's matchup here at Coburn Field. So thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of tonight's high school football action. Thank you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks to both head coaches providing information, interviews, statistics for the game broadcast tonight. Thanks as well goes out to each member of our broadcast team. Matt Crawford at the studio, Zach Van Meter and Eric Sterick running cameras, Ash Gurry, our on-site producer. For Jason Colrick and Vic Holmes, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you the final tonight. It is Martinsburg 62 and Washington nothing. Until next week, so long, everyone.
Who let the dogs out? And that concludes today's postgame show. Be sure to tune in each week throughout the regular and postseason for more West Virginia high school football featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford, your friendly Martinsburg Ford dealer. Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood. Berkeley and Morgan County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. Panhandle Dumpsters, because you have a choice. PanhandleDumpsters.com. Miller Honda, just one click away at MyMillerHonda.com. The Marius Group, start planning for a brilliant future. John Johnny's, restaurant quality foods at wholesale prices. J&P Service and Repair, getting a tractor back in gear. Hagerstown Ford, FordofHagerstown.com. And WVU Medicine University Healthcare, West Virginia's largest healthcare provider.
The game may be over, but don't go away just yet. It's time for the Extra Point, where we add on scores and information from other games around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State. So let's get it started as we head back to the Talk Radio WRNR studios.
Welcome back into the Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 studios. Matt Crawford here with you. Well, that was interesting. A unique second half, a unique football game, and one that the Washington Patriots, as you heard Matt, Vic, and Jason talk about, you can't fault their effort. You can't fault the intensity. They came out and gave everything they had, but tonight it went the way like it has the last 48 consecutive games. The Martinsburg Bulldogs improved to 6-0 with a 62-0 victory. Well, it seems like not too long ago we were doing these highlights. No highlights in the second half, but let's recap the scoring and how we got to that 62-0 score. In the first quarter, 5 touchdowns to speak of. Gerard Bowie, a 65-yard end-around, touch pass, whatever you want to call it. He went up the sideline to make it 7-0. That was on the first offensive play from scrimmage for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. On the ensuing kickoff, the return man fumbled it. Malachi Brown returns it 11 yards into the end zone. It's 14-0 at that point out at Coburn Field. Gerard Bowie would catch a 14-yard touchdown pass from Elijah Banks to give the Dogs a 3-touchdown advantage at 21-0. Trey Sine would then run it in from 10 yards out, 28-0 at that point in the first quarter. And Naeem Kearney would add a 34-yard touchdown run in the first, 35-0 your score after 1 quarter of play. Elijah Banks would hit Malachi Brown on a screen from 17 yards out, 42-0 to start quarter number 2. Then a 19-yard pass to Teddy Marshall. A great athletic play by Teddy Marshall to go up and get that football. Really a great job by him. Not bad defense played at all. He went up and got that football, 49-0 at that point. Naeem Kearney would add a second rushing touchdown, this time from 18 yards out, 55-0 following that missed extra point. And then Jars Thurston, a 39-yard fumble recovery, 62-0 your final score. So the Dogs scoring in all 3 facets of the game: offense, defense, and that special teams fumble recovery for a touchdown by Malachi Brown. All right, let's take a look at the highlights from this one. Again, all these first half, no scoring plays, and really hardly any offense in that second half, with only 6-minute quarters, and that fourth quarter going by in about 7 minutes with that running fourth quarter clock. Let's take a look at the highlights from this one in the 62-0 win for Martinsburg over Washington.
Line right now. They'll bring a man in motion. Will the Bulldogs give that little touch pass to Gerard Bowie? Turns the corner on that left side, and down that far sideline, there he goes. Good blocking out in front for Malachi Brown, and then just the speed of Gerard Bowie, who will take the opening play. 65 yards for a Bulldog score. From the Washington 14, Banks to throw over the middle, rifles one into the end zone, and a diving grab is made by Gerard Bowie, and he's got his second touchdown of this opening quarter.
We play in Martinsburg.
Elijah Banks handing this one off to Trey Sine. Started right, gets a cutback lane to his left, and he'll race into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Very nifty moves for Trey Sine.
We'll line up and just go ahead and kick it.
1st and 10 from the Washington 34. Give to Naeem Kearney. Turns the corner on this near side. Blocking downfield by Teddy Marshall. Also Gerard Bowie, and it springs him into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown at the 19-yard line. On 1st down, Banks fade into the back near corner of the end zone, and leaping up and making the grab is Teddy Marshall. He went high into the air, reached right over the top of Jacob Gockler, and pulls it in for the Bulldog score. Right man comes in motion, and they'll give a little underneath shovel pass instead to Naeem Kearney, who goes in for the score. They faked that handoff to Gerard Bowie, who came in motion from right to left, and instead Banks gave the little underneath shovel pass to Naeem Kearney, who out of the backfield had cut in behind Bowie, and the hole opened wide, and in for the score goes Naeem Kearney. He's got it, juggles it, loses it. It's down on the ground, and Martinsburg's going to have it, and it's Jarvis Thurston who picks it up, and he's going to head down the far sideline, and he'll go 39 yards for the score.
Highlights from this one. Again, Martinsburg getting the win 62-0. There are the highlights. Again, all first half highlights. The third quarter, nothing to speak of. In the fourth quarter, only lasted about 7 minutes. Nothing really happening in that fourth quarter. The Dogs 48 straight wins, 6-0 now on the season. The Washington Patriots dropping below 500 there at 2-3. Let's go ahead and take a 1 minute break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the finals that we know of. A little bit different with how quick the game went today. We're not going to have a whole lot of finals from around the Mountain State, but we'll tell you what we do have in the Eastern Panhandle, and we'll give you the finals from around the state and the scores that are deeper into that second half. We may skip the halftime or third quarter scores just because those may not tell you too much. Also, in just a few minutes, we're going to be able to catch start to finish on Talk Radio WRNR Game 2 of the Dodgers and Nationals. We're expecting to have to join that one in progress. Going to miss the pregame show, but should be able to send it out to L.A. to wrap up that pregame show and get you out there right around first pitch at 9:37 tonight. So that's what's coming up on Talk Radio WRNR. And coming up around 10 o'clock, we will do the replay of this game like we always do. Again, about 45 minutes after I get off the air, we tend to do the replay of the Martinsburg game. We'll do that same thing tonight coming up at about 10 o'clock. So that's what's coming up next after this 1 minute timeout. This is the Extra Point Postgame Show on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee Wee to the big boys to the wing T formation, a hearty meal of 12 pieces for just $9 is just what the boys need to be at their best. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rock's Local Market.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Welcome back into the Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 studios. Matt Crawford here with you with the Extra Point Postgame Show. The final from our game that just wrapped up, 62-0. Martinsburg getting the win over the Washington Patriots, 48 straight now for the Dogs. They're 6-0 on the season. It'll be Spring Mills next week. That game back at Coburn Field. Well, with how quick our game wrapped up, only one game around the Eastern Panhandle other than our game tonight has wrapped up, and that was a 35-0 shutout. Musselman getting the win over the Morgantown Mohegans. 14-0 was the halftime score there, and a couple of touchdowns in the second half for Musselman. They go on for the 5-touchdown win and the shutout. Congratulations to Coach Thomas and all those wearing green in Inwood. Fort Hill was taking on Hedgesville tonight out at Hedgesville, and that game still a quarter away from being final, but that fourth quarter going to go pretty darn quick. 57-6 was that last update with 1:28 left in the third quarter. So that's going to be a running fourth quarter clock and probably already in the fourth quarter. That last update 11 minutes ago. So probably into the fourth quarter. It's going to be Fort Hill going on for that win. A tight game in the only other EPAC game to speak of tonight. It was Dominion out of Virginia taking on Jefferson, and last updated in the third quarter, thanks to Jess Wilt from the Journal. It is 27-20 in the third quarter from out in Shenandoah Junction. So that game going to be a tight one to the end, it looks like. And unfortunately, with our post-game show, not going to be able to give you the final of that one. Make sure you tune into Miller Time on Monday, as we will have a reaction from all of these games and make sure to give you the final from all of these games as well. Let's take a look around AAA in the Mountain State. Cavill Midland all over Riverside. Cavill Midland will stay undefeated and most likely stay number 1 in AAA. Riverside 3-1, so that'll be some bonus points. 45-8, the final in that one. Hampshire getting shut out to AA Kaiser. Kaiser, the Golden Tornadoes, number 2 in AA, getting the 62-0 win. Kaiser stays undefeated. Hampshire stays defeated. They have yet to win a game this year. Parkersburg South taking on Huntington. That game in the third quarter, 28-14, Parkersburg South. Spring Valley in the third quarter over Capital, 35-0. Hurricane over GW, 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Somebody's going to get to 500 in that game. Somebody's going to drop to 2-4. Albert Gallatin, Pennsylvania, 3-1. This game in the fourth quarter over University, 13-6 is Albert Gallatin up in the fourth quarter. That game at home, so University on the road. John Marshall up on the road, but not updated since the half, so no idea what's going on in the second half of that one. 27-7, the last update from that. A final that just happened. Indian Creek, Ohio, all over Brook, 48-3. Brook now 1-5 on the season, and all the other AAA games have just started the second half. Grand Virginia up 35-0 over Princeton, and Ripley 42-0 over winless St. Albans. A lot of AA games have not been updated in a long while, so we'll give you ones in the fourth quarter and ones that have gone final. Oak Glen over Edison Local, Ohio, 42-3. Sissonville and Polka were in action tonight. This game looked like it could be a good one, but Polka is showing there nothing to mess with this year. Number 4 Polka over number 10 Sissonville in the fourth quarter, 69-24. In the fourth quarter, Bridgeport and North Marion are battling tonight, a home game for North Marion, and they're going to need a bit of a comeback, 28-20 in the fourth quarter of that one. A final between Lewis County and Robert Seabird, 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Liberty all over Braxton County, 57-7. A final from Grafton High School. Northern Garrett out of Garrett County, Maryland, gets the shutout victory, 27-0 on the road at Grafton. And some other fourth quarter scores for you. Lincoln over East Fairmont, 21-13, a tight game as they're winding out that one at Lincoln. Nicholas County over Rowan County, 41-7 in the fourth quarter. That a home game for Nicholas County. And in the fourth quarter, it's Scott and Wayne. That's just a 3-point game as the final minutes tick away on that clock. A home game for Scott. Right now, they have the 3-point advantage, 21-18. All the other games in AA, either at the half or haven't been updated in a long while. In single A, again, we'll do the same thing, just finals and games in the fourth quarter. Doddridge County over Wirt, a shutout victory for Doddridge County. They remain undefeated, 35-0, the win against Wirt County. Tygarts Valley getting a 2-point win that game earlier in the week. Tygarts Valley stopping Richwood on a 2-point conversion try to win the ball game. Tygarts Valley remains undefeated, 35-33. The win in that one would have been a good win for Richwood. They only have 2 wins on the season. Would have been a big upset over number 4 Tygarts Valley. Fort Fry, Ohio, shutting out Wheeling Central, giving Wheeling Central their second loss of the year, 42-0. The final in that one. The first time Wheeling Central has been shut out in 7 seasons. So not a good offensive day for them. Scrolling on down the list in the fourth quarter, Madonna taking on Trinity, 26-6. Looks like Madonna is going to go on for the win in that one. South Harrison taking on Valley Wetzel. Final in that one, South Harrison gets the win, 32-6. They now bump a game above 500 at 3-2. Valley Wetzel 1-4. Clay Battelle beating Calhoun County by a touchdown, 21-7. Calhoun County 1-5. Clay Battelle now 2-3. Monroe Central Ohio against Magnolia. Home game for Magnolia, but they are going to stay winless on the season. Monroe Central Ohio getting the 51-13 win. And one more final from single A. Cameron over Patton City, 19-6. So there are your finals from around the state. Again, a lot of these games based on the speed of our game earlier, still in the third quarter, or haven't been updated since the half. Let's go ahead and take one more 1-minute timeout. And when we come back, we will set you up for what's going on over the weekend on our airwaves, and NFL football on Sunday, college football tomorrow. No Shepherd game. Again, they got the win 62-28 at Lock Haven last night, but the Mountaineers back in action after a bye week and a busy weekend in NFL football coming up. We'll tell you all about that and what it looks like next week for our Eastern Panhandle schools as we wrap up the Extra Point postgame show, then send you to Washington Nationals baseball on Talk Radio WRNR. We'll be back to wrap up the show next. This is Matt Crawford, and this is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Welcome back into the Extra Point Post-Game Show. Matt Crawford here with you to wrap things up. And on the radio airwaves, again, we'll send you to Washington Nationals baseball game 2 against the LA Dodgers coming up here in just about 10 minutes. First pitch, 9:35, so we'll get you out there for that one. The Nats falling 6-0 last night out in Hollywood. Let's quickly look at what's going on next week. A couple of EPAC on EPAC showdowns. Again, it'll be Spring Mills traveling to Coburn Field to take on the Dogs. That'll be a 6 p.m. pregame right here, 7 p.m. kickoff. And it'll be Musselman traveling to Hedgesville next week. A bye for the Jefferson Cougars, and Washington will drop down and play Double-A Frankfort, that game on the road for the Washington Patriots. Again, in college football this weekend, no Shepherd. They got the 62-28 win last night against Lock Haven, but WVU back in action. Homecoming at Milan Pushkar Stadium, and it's the Texas Longhorns for a 3:30 kickoff, a nationally televised game. Our pregame will begin with the Learfield IMG College Mountaineer Sports Radio Network at 12 noon. So a full afternoon of Mountaineer football with a 3:30 kickoff. You'll be able to live, breathe, and listen WVU football from noon all the way up until about 9 or 10 o'clock. So looking forward to that one, and horns down across the Mountain State. On Sunday, it'll be the Washington Redskins welcoming the New England Patriots. That'll be an 11 a.m. pregame, 1 p.m. kickoff right here. And Colt McCoy getting the start for the Washington Redskins, now the third quarterback to play in just game number 5. The Redskins hoping to avoid going 0-5 for the first time since the Marty Schottenheimer era. Yeah, it's been that long, the early 2000s. With how bad the Redskins have been, they haven't been this bad in an awfully long time. And the Ravens are taking on the Steelers. That game in Pittsburgh at 1 o'clock kickoff. We will not have that game. We are picking up a lot of Steelers games as a partial Pittsburgh Steeler affiliate, but not that one due to our contractual obligations with the Washington Redskins. All right, that is going to do it for us tonight. Again on TV 10 in about a half hour, 40 minutes, we'll have the replay of the Martinsburg game tonight, and on Talk Radio WRNR following the post-game billboard, we'll send you out to the tail end of the Nationals pregame show and first pitch right around the corner. I appreciate you tuning in tonight and reminding you of the final from our game earlier. It was 62-0 Martinsburg getting the win over the Washington Patriots. Our next matchup is next Friday, Spring Mills coming to Martinsburg. We'll see you then.
And the Extra Point is up and good. That concludes today's broadcast of West Virginia High School football. All rights reserved. For the best in high school, college, and NFL coverage all season long, keep it tuned in to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Hey,